More Jack, please. Oh my. Dream on. He has a girlfriend. It is me. I am the girlfriend. Oh, I love it when the significant others come in. Oh dear. Dutch was very happy when I got back from Cleveland last night. Looking like Arnold. Wait. Yes, Arnold likes to browse Reddit and Imager these days, man. He's chillin'. He's a chill dude. I worked at Forever 21 as a cashier, and I guess the customer I rang up was an Instagram baddie, because a few people recognized her, but I didn't. And when I checked her out, she was like, "This line is so long, do you know who I am?" And I said, "No, sorry." And then her card declined. Now, I don't believe that part of the story at all. Come on, you don't have to embellish to that level. Look, I believe everything else. I just don't believe that someone was at Forever 21 paying $1.35 for anything. What do they sell for $1 at Forever 21? Last year, I got rejected during a job interview for not understanding the concepts of a certain iOS library. What the interviewer didn't know, I wrote that thing. I actually had a lot of fun during that interview. I love that type of crap, man. In the elevator, whose lab are you in? Mine. No, I mean, who is the PL of the lab? I am. In what professor's lab? The Columbus lab, and I am Columbus. Oh, I see. Oh, dang it. Can any U.S. lawyer following confirm this? Let's see. Could a federal crime to enter or remain in the White House without the lawful authority to do so? Yes, hello, I am a U.S. lawyer. Me, an astrophysicist who's published 2, nearly 3 papers on Betelgeuse. Yes, I'm saying Betelgeuse, and specializes in supernovae. Tweets about Betelgeuse. Men in my mentions. Well, actually, it may have already exploded. Do you know how light works? Here's the Wikipedia page. Also, calm down. Oh, see, this is mansplaining at its finest right here. I mean, Jesus. She knows more than you. Shut up, you frickin' Twitter loser. Kid at skate park. Are you Tony Hawk? I am. No, you're not. Okay, I'm not. But are you for real? I am for real. I thought you'd look younger. Me too. Dude, Tony Hawk's like 56. Chill out, man. Why is everybody so mean to Tony Hawk, dude? Someone just told me on my own Instagram page to give credit to the maker of the videos. My videos. Give credit to me. Me is the video maker, man. I mean, at that point, there's really nothing you can tell him. McDonald's is feeling the vibe of the day. Pass by to have your favorite meal by the sea. Hi, we love this. If you're 18 or over, would you give us permission to share it here? Hello, McDonald's Corp. Yes, sure, will do. We're the official page. So, did you meet the hero of Hyrule? Nah, dude sounds kinda lame. I heard he wore a dress once. At the cafe where I'm writing, the people next to me were disagreeing about the origins of Men in Black, and I said, if you'd like, I could clear that up for you. And one responded, I'm sorry, we don't need an old white male's mansplanation. So I apologized, and that was that. Why do I yet again not believe that for 1 second? Old people like to do that a lot, don't they? No, you didn't get wokeified at Starbucks, bro. I'm sure they said, sorry, we're having a private conversation, but I don't believe it for 1 minute that some people actually said white male's mansplanation to you in person, but thanks. Not a lawyer, but my dad is a physician and is sometimes called as a professional witness in cases of malpractice. In one memorable case, a family member was suing a doctor for something fairly frivolous, and my dad was a witness for the defense. The lawyer representing the family was cross-examining my dad and brought up a chapter in a medical textbook and asked my dad to read a highlighted paragraph. He does, and the lawyer says something to the effect of, so, what you just read means blah 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 medical thing. My dad confidently replied, no, it does not mean that. But if you read XYZ, the author clearly states blah 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 medical thing. No, really, that's not what the author means. How do you know it's not what the author meant? Well, because I wrote it. The judge basically facepalmed while the lawyer mimicked a goldfish and stared at the author name on the chapter. Basically the best moment of my dad's professional life. Yes, the ruling was in the defendant's favor. Damn, how can you actually mess up that bad? No, seriously, that lawyer should never be able to live that one down, dude. Getting a cappuccino today, and the barista says, did anyone ever tell you that you look just like Tom Morello? I say, all the time. He says, I'll bet. I order my coffee. He says, what's the name? I say Tom. He says, your name is Tom too? That's crazy. I'm like, it sure is. Look, I would probably be one of these people if I'm being honest with you, because I have mistaken celebs before, or people that I thought I recognized before. I've done it before, all right? And he probably doesn't want a bunch of people to be like, woo, Tom Morello, let's freak out. He's just getting a coffee, man. 3 different people boarding this plane in 3 different ways have told me that I look like Tony Hawk as they walked by my seat. My wife turned to me after the last one and said, "You started it." To clarify, each person was joking, but unaware that they were redundant. It's your fault, Tony. Tonight, the bartender addressed me as Miss. I responded, "Actually, it's Doctor." We had rapport, and I wasn't just being a d. He responded to me, "Oh, you can call me Doctor if you want to." Turns out he has a PhD in theoretical astrophysics, so I'm never using that line again. Great. Twice today, I saw people wearing Blink-182 t-shirts and said, "Hey, cool shirt," and got looked at like, "Yeah, whatever, you old space garbage." The first dude glanced at me confusedly, looked down at his shirt and goes, "Oh yeah, just saw them in concert last night," and walked away. I know that obviously this guy's in Blink-182. I don't know which member, so... Jenna Fisher says young Office fans often tell her that she looks like an older version of Pam. You know, I just gotta say, I understand where people are coming from. You know, it's been a while and whatnot, but regardless of who the person is, I'm just letting you know right now, it's kind of rude to go up to someone and say, "Wow, you look like an older version of this person." Doesn't matter if it's a guy, doesn't matter if it's a girl, doesn't matter who the hell they are, it's just kind of rude to say that to someone. Top-notch comment from some dude on OkCupid today. "Sorry, but you really don't look like someone who likes The Witcher. Me having wrote for The Witcher, and played a game with Doug Cockle? Who? Huh? I mean, that's pretty sick though. Once arrived at an event and they barred my way and were nasty with it. Do you have a ticket? No, I don't. Then you'll have to leave. It's sold out, you can't come in. If I leave, then so does everyone else as they've all paid to hear me speak. Red faces all around." Well, look, at the very least, you know that they're at least mostly doing their jobs. They're just not doing the research along with it. It happened. It finally happened. A man talked down to me about my specialist subject. He quoted a paper. I wrote the damn paper. Small victories. For those asking whether I told him, yes, I did. I said nicely that the author might disagree with his conclusions. After some protest, I put him out of his misery and told him that I was the author. He had the good grace to look mortified, and I hope he never lives it down. Seriously, these are the moments you'll remember forever, fellas. A complete, beautiful reinvention of Doctor Who. So relatable, down to earth, with such character and sense of place. A great new Doctor, too, and we immediately love all her friends. Drama, scares, and comedy for all the family. Brilliant. Yeah, I could tell you've never seen previous Doctor Who's. You do realize Paul Cornell has literally written for every single Doctor from the 1st to the 12th, right? Not only in books and but on TV as well. No? Oh dear. This beast of a Black Widow. All right, silent pair, blah, 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 repost. Oh, nice. Cool. Christians and Muslims are brothers and sisters, and we must act as such. Why don't you ask Muslims to convert to Christianity? Please read John 14:6. Did you seriously just ask the Pope to read the Bible? It may not be the most unfair thing in the world, I'm sure. I don't know, whatever. Don't want people getting mad at me for making jokes about something they like, even though I do it quite often. One time, a few years ago, I told this man I wrote about prosecutors, and he was so condescending. He told me his friend's wife covered prosecutors too, and I should try to get her to mentor me. And then my husband walked in, and it turns out I was the friend's wife! Oh! Well, that's a bit of a confusing situation. Wow, I was there Saturday evening for a pumpkin roll Arctic swirl, my favorite ice cream place all around. Yes, honey, I was there with you. Love you. Haha, oops. Hi, husband. Why did we all bust our asses getting Democrats elected to the presidency and in control of both houses of Congress if they can't do a simple thing like raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour? Maybe you should run for office and make it happen instead of Twitter raging? Just a thought. Well, okay, Bill Clinton put me in charge of getting the minimum wage increased in 1996, and despite the fact that the Senate and House were both under Republican control, we did it. Maybe you should join me in Twitter raging right now. You talk about Venezuela a lot, but what do you really know about it? Oh, I'm from Venezuela and live there. The real question is, what do you really know about it? I'm gonna have to go ahead and say nothing. Kid on the street. Are you Dwight? Me? Nope. Yeah, you are. I'm the biggest Office fan. Can I get a pic? What's my name? I don't know. Walking off. Then you're not the biggest Office fan. Hey man, that's fair. He is not Dwight. He is Rainn Wilson. And you remember the goddamn name, you understand? My grandparents bought the first plot on a new estate before the roads were named. When they moved in, they were amused to find it was the same as their surname. Later, they were joking with a rep from the sales company, thanking them for naming it after them. He laughed at the coincidence, but explained that the council had actually named the roads after ex-mayors, and that theirs was a bit controversial as it was the only Labor mayor that the town had ever had. Really? My granddad, the former Labor councilor and mayor, only bought one because of Renee Shumay? I'm not sure who that is. Who's that? I'm the PR/marketing specialist at Ascension. I work with you. Well, for how much longer exactly? So somebody just explained to me what I just posted to a subreddit wasn't suitable for that sub. I replied as the creator, moderator, and basically only contributor to said subreddit, I respectfully disagree. And he reported me. To me. This seems to happen quite a lot. That's just the exact same energy as, can you get me the manager? I am the manager. Oh boy, here we go. I feel we need to remind the world about the Apollo missions and that we can still do what seems to be the impossible. There's a lot of sketchy stuff involving the moon landings. We do need to go back. There's reason... we do need to go back. There's... zero. My brain erased the word. There's zero reason it should take 50 years to make it happen again. Makes us conspiracy think something was up there. And if you don't think there's any sketchy stuff about the moon landing, then you haven't fully done your research. You mean... Buzz Aldrin? One of the few people in history that set foot on the goddamn moon? Are you... Some guy made an 11-hour response to my Joker video. Oh my god. Holy shit, someone said something I don't agree with, so it must be about the video I made. Okay. Well, I thought it might be a response to me because they put my face in the thumbnail and titled it Response to Jenny Nicholson. I love when this happens. Just, is this dude a bot? How else can you be this dumb? No, for real though. Coordinator. And what's your role on set today, young lady? Me. I'm the director. Nah, you get one fucking chance at that shit. No, you get one chance. Someone condescending that bad. What's your role on set today, young lady? To fucking fire you, I guess. Shit, I hate that stuff. However, even without that recent evidence, the biological principles for separation into men's and women's categories in sport are so strong that to overturn it requires exceptional evidence. Are you a biologist? Are you a scientist? Have you got a PhD? Published a paper in a peer-reviewed journal? If not, then shut the fuck up. Yes, 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 and yes. All right, your next reply better be sourcing it, please. Thanks for letting us know. Mind sharing your channel URL so we can check on this further? Keep us posted. Thanks for looking into this. Your channel may be lacking context about the creative value you're adding to make the content unique. We recommend changing your overall content strategy and reapply in 30 days. Wait, I literally composed the soundtrack that I'm hosting on YouTube. It's not reused. I am the original creator and owner. You're denying me the right to monetize the first original uploads of my own soundtrack. Am I missing something here? Sometimes I just want to punch Java in the face. Learn it and you'll never want to use anything else. I'm a computer science professor. I've taught a dozen programming classes that use Java. I know it. Thanks. People love to make assumptions. Woman no understand anything. When the person who's ripping on your art on Twitter has your art as their avatar without even realizing it. All the men are properly proportioned and the women have no organs. Okay, J. Scott Campbell. And he's confused as to why we think men shouldn't draw. Heard yesterday evening that Picadillo Mexican Restaurant's dining room is open, and they're telling people that I gave them an exemption to the state law. First of all, I can't waive state law. Second, I never told or even mentioned to anyone even remotely that they could do so. Needless to say, I was pissed. Went in to ask them why the dining room is still open. The cashier said they got an exemption from the mayor. Obviously, she didn't know who I was. I had some harsh words for the manager. Yeah, what the hell's going on there? Although, if I'm being honest with you, if the mayor of Colorado Springs came down and started talking to me, I would have no freaking idea. This is how disconnected I am from reality. Just to let you know, I am stuck in your screen. You see, here at MK Industries, I am contractually obligated to be in your computer at all times. That's how I'm able to turn this stuff around so quickly. I had a paper rejected once because I didn't seem to know the work of Joe Sharp well enough. I am Joe Sharp. I love that crap. It's so fun. So my aunt went to the store down in Georgia and said to this young man, "Pull your pants up." The man says, "Do you know who I am?" She says, "No." "Take a picture with me and show your grandkids." My aunt just met Young Thug in the mall. Well, did he pull his pants up or what? She knows what she's talking about, clearly. Oh, we got a Simpsons Evie Whaman coming in here with the Savage Burn. What? I have a Simpsons AVI because I voice that character on the Oh, I see. Never mind. Don't mind me. I'm stupid. Oh, dude. At a skate park, older dude outside the fence sees me and yells, "Do a kickflip." So I did one. He then turns to his friends and says, "Holy shit, he actually did it." You don't think Tony Hawk can do a kickflip? Why is it that he's really recognizable? I could pick Tony Hawk out of a lineup of Tony Hawk lookalikes. What is going on with him? It all started because of that one tweet, man. Again, Tony, you did this to yourself. Patiently waiting for Carnival, like, why are these women all light-skinned? 'Cause all these women are me? Hello, Damien. I'm a reporter for The Guardian. Is this your video? Could we use it with full credit to you? LOL, I'm a reporter with The Guardian. So I guess you can use it. Oh man, sometimes you just don't know everybody that works in your company. Is it a new Twitter guy? I asked some guy last night if he was a soccer fan or just came to the Austin FC game because it was the place to be. His response, "Do you know the men's national team? I'm the coach." I'm really glad that I have never actually been on the "you're the dummy" end of any of these. Maybe someday. You never know, still plenty of time. Somebody told me that because I don't go outside and clap, I should spend a day on the front line as a nurse and find out what it's like. Found that reaction quite funny when I let them know I am, in fact, a nurse. Feel embarrassed. We're seeing preventable mass deaths in the United States. Do you support Medicare for all right now? I don't know why you're tweeting this like some sort of gotcha, but I am a co-sponsor of the bill. Lady in public lane, you're very good at swimming, you know? Me? Thanks. No, seriously, you should try and do a trial with the country club, or sorry, county club. Well, I actually went to a couple of Olympics. Me too! Which sports did you manage to get tickets for? Oh, I see, she thought you went. No, I understand the miscommunication here. Battle of... I'm sorry, I don't know the pronunciation. A 6-inch Mark 7 gun of the Royal Garrison Artillery in action. Oh, damn. Color photography did not exist in 1918. Someone's pulling your leg. I colorized it. A likely story. Probably want to think twice before making up fake photos. Men died in that war, madam. That has to be one of the most idiotic statements I've seen in quite a while. Can you Google a little the fabulous work of Marina before making statements? No. Why would they do that? They love embarrassment. People like this makes me feel like, this is their kink. You know what I mean? This is my first comment ever on YouTube. You guys should feel honored. And who the fuck are you? Jonathan Stevens, it says it right there, you illiterate fuck. I have never retweeted you before today. Thank you for this logic in a world of emotion. Congrats on not having emotions. Must be nice, Tim. Rob, you're a comedian with a cyanide and happiness character as your profile picture. Stop. It might be because he made cyanide and happiness. Leave him alone. People often respond to emotions instead of data. Crossing the street in India is the most interesting thing. You literally just start walking head on into oncoming traffic and hope they slow down. It feels like I'm in a video game, not real life. It's like playing Frogger. She won't f*** you, bro. She's my girlfriend. Oh, that makes it even worse. What did you do? I often think fondly of the stranger on the subway who saw me playing a game on my phone and told me to read a f***ing book, not knowing at the time I was a full-time book reviewer. Like, I wonder what he's up to or who else he's bothering. This reminds me of when I asked Twitter for their favorite games on the phone for a long flight, and people told me that I should try these things called books. I mean, reading. Ever heard of it? New York Times best-selling author Celeste, or Celeste, not 100%, sometimes it's a little different. I'm not here to mess up people's names. Never ever name your child after fictional characters whose arcs are not completed. Why is everyone all of a sudden talking about character arcs like they're a film critic with a minor in creative writing? I don't know. I'm talking about them like I'm a TV and screenwriter for 15 years. You know in Futurama when Zoidberg scuttles out of a room clicking his claws? That's me right now backing out of this with no dignity left. You can never go wrong with a Zoidberg gif. Hey, at least they sort of, I guess, embraced it. They turned into the skid. OMG, your profile pic reminds me of this YouTuber I used to binge when I was a small child. Oh? Do you remember which one? I drew this profile pic for my own channel, so it'd be cool to see a comparison. God, the only thing I can remember about her is that I could never remember her name. She played Super Mario Sunshine and Ocarina of Time, I think. She always dressed up her character for the series she was playing, and the character would like pop up whenever she had a brain fart. That's That's me. You know, honestly, I did have sorry, gotta do this for just a second. I gotta share my story with the world here. This did happen to me recently. Not on Twitter, but I was walking out of a Safeway with Zach near where we are, or where we live, I should say, and I talk pretty loud. I am a loud talker. It may or may not be because I like it when people recognize me, but someone did actually recognize me by voice, and they stopped, turned around, and said, I don't mean to be rude, but you kind of sound like one of my favorite YouTubers. And I go, okay, well, wait, which YouTuber? And he said, his name is Robin. And I go, that's me. And of course he had a heart attack, and he wasn't embarrassed. He shouldn't be. I thought it was adorable and hilarious. So, my friend, if you're out there listening right now, I remember you, and just know that whenever I do get to meet any of you out in the real world, no matter where it is, I remember it forever. Hell, I met a fan's parents before, and I remember them too. I never forget. It's some of the best parts of my life. Just had someone try and explain a task to me by taking me through the official documentation via Zoom screen share. The documentation that I wrote, and has my name on it. People legitimately don't pay attention, do they? There's no better way to get in shape than to prepare for a triathlon. This guy'll tell you. I'm that guy, and no, I won't tell you that. It's happened. I just received reviews for an article submission where I was told that to improve my arguments, I should look at the work of Gareth Thomas. Oh! One time I was at one of those places with a bunch of band names on the wall and read my own name out loud with excitement, and the owner said, oh yeah, she comes in here all the time. Oh yeah? Another successful musician instantly becomes a political expert. One does not have to be an honors grad in political science from Harvard University to recognize the unethical and inhumane nature of his administration. But well, I happen to be an honors grad in political science from Harvard University, so I can confirm that for you. A lot of people don't realize that famous musicians, famous actors, famous people in general probably had lives before they were famous, things they were planning on doing before they changed direction, and you would be very, very surprised to learn a lot of things about people. Anecdote: once went to pitch a comedy drama to a certain commissioner. He expressed doubt that I had the right tone for the channel, BBC4. Suggested I watch something called A Child's Christmases in Wales. I mean, I wrote that, I said politely. A rental car agency can't find my name on the monitor to find my car. Go inside and wait in line. Finally get to the front. Agent sees me and says, you really are Tony Hawk. Yes, I was looking for my name outside on the list. I deleted it because I thought it was fake. Honestly, totally fair, to be real. Tony, I hope you didn't get pissy with the guy. Am I the asshole? You're the asshole. I don't care for this situation much. You are the one going out of your way to harass this girl and acting like an asshole the whole way through it. You demand to be respected, but don't give any respect to your boyfriend's family. To be honest, it reads like he would be better off getting back with his ex than staying with someone who's clearly a narcissist with trust issues. Oh wow, I'm a narcissist? Where did you get your psychology degree from? I see. The University of Bristol, where I'm currently doing my PhD. Oh, suck it! One time I was doing stand-up and this guy came up to me and was like, you're pretty good, but you definitely stole one of your jokes from a viral tweet, which is lame. It was my viral tweet. I hope that you two figured that out together. Twitch bans Dragon Force guitarist Herman Lee for playing his own music on stream. Twitch actually sucks. Every night before bed, I study a picture of Tony Hawk so that if I ever run into him in public, I will not be one of those people. Hell yeah, man. We're taking it back. We're doing this for you, Tony. We love you.
Went to the store wearing my own merch because I'm out of clean clothes, and the person at the register said, oh my god, I love that artist. And I said, OMG, yeah, me too, and promptly left. Really goes to show, you're not a true fan of that artist if you can't tell when they clearly haven't washed their clothes for a week. Back in Halloween 2019, I got Best Costume Award and $500 dues for looking so much like Young Gravy.
Dude, you look just like Young Gravy.
From the Instagram story of Old Mustard. Haha, post-work family selfie from Goa. Who does baby Tara look like more? Congratulations! And what happened to the first legally wedded wife? Anyways, nice family picture. What doesn't matter to you, nosy auntie? Oh, black hair dyed hawk girl, no. It's like you come to sit in the cinema an hour already into the movie. Because I am still his legally wedded wife who was thrown out of the house. What a stable man, jumping into different relationships the moment he can. Guy in line at Disneyland.
Dude, you have a great voice.
Thank you.
You should be a narrator. You should do stuff professionally.
Yeah, maybe I should.
You have like a YouTube voice.
I get that a lot.
No, seriously, you should make money.
Yeah. Maybe. Let's just casually show that subscription number for ProZD on YouTube right now. Yep, pretty good. Meanwhile, to resolving the real world issues. Hey, that Walmart truck is my design. Here's my proof.
Wrong. I watched a build tutorial.
Yeah, and guess who made the tutorial? Da-da-da-da! Minecraft Walmart semi-trailer truck tutorial, you loser! But sorry, this post has been removed by the moderators of r/Minecraft. Looks like Bolatund had to have a bowl of humility for breakfast. Nailed that joke. From the Twitter account, Alternative Noah! The USNS Comfort is usually in port, Norfolk, during a hurricane season in case it's needed. Now, for some reason, the Navy decided to sail it to Colombia. Oddly enough, many politicians in Colombia are Mar-a-Lago members, previously reported. This hospital ship is critical. Oh God, what do you want?
You obviously weren't in the Navy or Coast Guard, or you would know that the best place to be on a ship in a major storm is at sea, not slamming against a pier. You should learn the facts, even though the motto of libs is never let the facts get in the way of a good story.
I'm captain, you butthead.
Look how triggered you are, dismantling my argument with a single comment. Making me cry? You're so triggered.
That's not a wasp, it's a mud dauber, and they're basically harmless. Sorry, I didn't realize I was giving an entomology lesson. I am an ACE, Associate Certified Entomologist, and a mud dauber is a wasp. I mean, technically he is true, mud daubers are basically harmless, but so is everything if it doesn't yet intend to kill you. I meet a woman in an art studio. She asks what I do. Writer, I say. What are you writing? A book on super rich people who claim to change the world. Well, are they? She asks. No, I say. That's the point of the book. Oh, she said. So later I learned she was Elon Musk's mom. Ouch. No, but this is great because he obviously didn't know who she was. So this comment would have digged into her even more than someone who actually would have known her. And who knows, maybe even inspired her to get the book. When I literally wrote the article.
I want to read the article first. You're about to share an article you haven't opened on Twitter.
I know what's in it, I wrote it.
Oh, we know, it's just... do you think it's good enough to share?
Yeah, what do you mean?
No, nothing. No, it's cute. Look, you can share it. It's fine. It's cute.
No, what do you mean? Attempting to disparage someone for their looks. Oh dear, at Katie Piper. Katie Piper? Who is she? No one knows who she is compared to me. Mick Mox, you know. Yep. With lips full of Botox and a designer face drawn by surgeons on the advertising platform called Sky News, promoting a publication about people needing to be honest with themselves. Couldn't make it up, could you? There are so many ways to constructively criticize the unrealistic expectations of beauty we shove through media. You don't attack a skinny person just because they're not as large as you. It's not the advocacy for respect and equality that you think it is. But hey, who is Katie Piper? Well, my face has been rebuilt by surgeons using other parts of my body after my face was melted down to the muscle and skeleton following an acid attack. But regardless, I don't owe you, pretty. Perhaps use your time more productively than commenting on women's appearances in the internet.
You don't understand, Katie. I was rejected by 3 girls in college. This is the only way I can prove to myself that women don't matter to me. By making how much I dislike them, my character.
Explaining what baguette means to a French person. In what world does baguette mean wand? It's bread in French. Why would they fight with bread? It's just a sloppy translation overall. No, actually, baguette means wand. The name for the bread is actually baguette de pain, which can be translated to wand of bread. It doesn't mean bread at all, it means wand. So baguette magpique. Shit, oh no.
I've been exposed, I'm not actually French.
So baguette magic is the right way to call a wand, said the French person. No, you're wrong, not you are wrong, the wrong is yours now apparently. It means bread, everyone uses it way.
What can I say? I just called you a translation and I'm French, obviously you can tell by my incredible accent.
I will look it up later, but I'm pretty sure you're using it wrong.
Well, you're using your wrong. How can we trust you if you can't even English?
He's right though. Baguette just means wand, not bread. I don't know where you learned that. They learned it through the power of assumption. You know there was a whole book and film made out of this song, right? Replying to Michael Rosen. No, I didn't. Go on, tell me more. I just realized
You wrote it. That makes the original tweet even more hilarious. What a pansy I am.
Well, I mean, at least you acknowledge it. Honestly, if you want people to get over what silly thing you did, just admit the L. The more you double down, the more people will just make fun of you. It's not shameful to practice humility every now and then. So I'm publicly credited for finding vulnerabilities in a wide range of software, including in password managers, but sure. My gosh, it's October and we're still with unhackable and 100% safe as marketing terms. Really, it's a terrible look. Terrible? What are you saying? The tool is in fact almost 101% safe. That statement is entirely meaningless marketing fluff. It's clear that you have minimal to no knowledge about password security. Oh, Windows portable apps, you were just asking to be hacked. The only thing I do not like about Philo is that you cannot pause live TV and wait commercials out. Commercials are hard-coded into the timestamp and you cannot fast forward. Yeah, I hope we get around to this soon. I have proposed a feature to fix this, but haven't been able to prioritize it above other things so far. Oh, it's intentional at this point. I personally communicated with the CEO of Philo on here and voiced my displeasure about this 2 years ago. Wow, interesting. That's wow, because I am the CEO of Philo. Sorry it hasn't happened sooner, though. Let's just put that comment through an honesty translator. Get out of here, you bullshit! Uber driver doesn't realize he's talking to the author. So this is Abdullah. He's the lovely and kind Uber driver who drove me to the beach today in Perth. He asked me what I was doing in Australia, and I told him I've been traveling for the last 2.5 months. He said, "Oh, like Julia Roberts in that movie." Yes, my friend, just like that. Oh, come on, please tell me you told him. He deserves to know. He's clearly a fan. I was plowing a street last night and got to the end, turned around and started plowing the other side. A man waved me down. I rolled down the window. Using some pretty salty language, he complained that I had gotten snow in the bottom of his driveway. Then he told me that he was going to call and report me. I smiled and said, "To who?" His face changed as he finally recognized me and said, "I'm so embarrassed." I laughed and cleared the end of his driveway. Going through the security at the airport and the TSA guy looks at my bandit mask and says, "I see you must have been at the gaming convention. You into Borderlands?" I smile and say, "Yeah, you could say that." Just casually the CEO of Borderlands in general. Here we have a man playing some weird form of American cricket. I was just in the elevator at my hotel in full golf attire. A guy asked if I was headed to Liberty National, and I said I sure was. And then he asked if I thought some of the players were staying at this hotel. I'm pretty confident the answer was yes. So in the line to see Deadpool, a film where they mention me by name, a guy started explaining who Deadpool was to me. In case you don't know, Gail Simone wrote Deadpool.
Yeah, but see, she didn't create Deadpool, so she, that's still valid for me to explain it.
Here we have the Gen Z version of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, to which someone says, "So pretty, Emma Watson." Thank you. I had an amazing time filming Harry Potter and am really thrilled about all the new projects I'm doing now. I mean, Emma Watson's pretty amazing, so that's really a compliment either way. On my flight, I was talking to a guy next to me and it came up that I run. He starts telling me how I need to train high mileage and pulls up an analysis he made of a pro runner's training on his phone. The pro runner was me. It was my training. Didn't have the heart to tell him.
Okay, look, alright, so I get that is probably, yes, it probably is mansplaining, but come on.
The dude is using you as an example of exemplary skill and effort. Would probably help if he actually knew the face of the person he was using an example of, though. Once I told a man he looked like Jeff Goldblum, and he was like, "Who's that?" So I pulled up a pic and he said, "Oh my, what a compliment. He's very handsome." Then, as he was walking away, my friend walked up to me and was like, "Hey, I'm pretty sure the guy you were talking to was Jeff Goldblum." That's Dame Annie Lennox. She sold 80 million records worldwide and won 4 Grammys, 8 Brit Awards, and a guy named Oscar. She owns him now. He's legally her property. Ooh, I think I'm in with a chance.
Dear Annie Lennox, Kylie here from Radio Los Angeles. I came across your music online, and I really like what I heard. I'm the new music coordinator for a station that has over 100,000 unique listeners each month. I find artists who I think have potential and get them in rotation on our station. If you'd like, please send over the MP3 of your latest single. I'll forward it to Glenn, our program director here at Blank, to see if he's interested in putting it in rotation.
He was replying to her posting actual images from the comic. You have never read an issue of Iron Man in your entire life, have you? I'm sure you think it is beneath you. It's okay, you were not the first, but some honesty would be nice. Hi, Dana Schwartz here. I literally wrote Rescue 2020 to dovetail with the Iron Man 2020 story. So, yes, I have read Iron Man.
This Twitter account only seems to report on the weather. Why is that? Why not report on real news unless you are afraid of the outcome? You know, like how Florida has been reporting falsified COVID numbers.
Clearly trying to come at it with an agenda. I'm a meteorologist. I report on the weather. That is why.
How dare you apply reasoning to my conspiracies?
Someone lied on their resume. Talk to some women developers. And of course, the person without a legitimate profile picture says, I do. From Wall Street to Watson Research to a little big data startup in Tennessee. Not a thing. It's made up leftist claptrap. Watson Research, you claim? Funny. I'm a chief scientist at IBM Research, having worked with Watson since the Jeopardy challenge. And I've never heard of you. This is the dumbest cover art I've ever seen. Oh, I have no idea what this is.
Oh, it's pretty good if you haven't seen it.
Oh, buddy, Rian Johnson directed the movie.
Oh, so he's seen it being made, but he hasn't seen it. Yeah, checkmate.
This guy seems rather familiar towards affection.
Hey, you look like Rick Astley, mate.
Mwah. Thanks. I'm better looking, though.
Someone tagged the Nicegirl. It's literally me. Yeah, I realized that after I commented this. Well, hey, someone owned up to it. I like it. Epios? I don't know. We'll release the phone number lookup in a few weeks. Thank you for your reply. I went to this site, and it looks like it's for email lookup only. Please let me know what I did wrong, and thank you. Yup, it's not released yet. Really? Cool. Where does the information come from? That would be great. I'm the founder. Well, hey, nothing like running into the founder, right? My car is currently orbiting Mars. Well, no, it's orbiting the sun, and occasionally passes the orbit of Mars. Not the same thing. Who died and made you the orbital police? Johannes Kepler. Kepler? Why does that name ring a huge bell? A big gong going off in my brain. You literally scraped the idea and concept of your avatar and appropriated it as your own. Extremism is always flawed and often foolish. What? This one's a little... never mind. John Lamb. Oh, animation department. John Lamb is known for Invincible. Ooh, look at that. Yet again, someone didn't look into anything before they started spewing garbage. Superman is a refugee who chose to be a journalist to champion truth and justice. In his very first appearance, he broke down the doors of a governor's mansion to stop a prisoner's execution. Get a real job. Well, I have a real job. I write TV and comics, including Marvel's Dark Ages, which is the comic your profile picture is from. Imagine getting dunked on this hard, like, ow. Did you know that Legally Blonde originally ended with Reese Witherspoon's Elle Woods and Selma Blair's Vivian Kensington getting together? This is not true. Source? Here's mine. Oh, I wrote the movie, and I'm in the picture you just posted. This actress quoted was incorrect. Damn. Oh, that's so awesome. Oh, this is my favorite one. Not only were they able to say, oh, I wrote the movie, but I'm in the goddamn picture of the article you linked. Shut up. Also, we stan Elle Woods in this household. She a queen. I f***ing love Elle Woods. Yes, I love Legally Blonde, and I also unironically love Legally Blonde 2, and yes, I'm also hoping for another one someday. A quick summary of why all these UFOs are popping up now. Call it Science Sunday or Super Bowl Science Sunday. In spatial science, in this case radar/satellite data, we use techniques to filter out noise so we can identify objects in space. The abstract space, not outer. So now you're an expert on this too. Considering I wrote peer-reviewed literature, is it literature? Is that what they're talking about? And a master's thesis on satellite detection of changes in the landscape, I'd say so. Nothing's ever good enough for people with Twitter ats that look like that. He didn't say homophobia doesn't exist in certain communities. He just said it's worse in some, and he's right. Homophobia is very bad in the black community. Apparently you would know, considering how homophobic and ignorant you are. Yes, I would know, being a gay black man, you know. I don't know why, I'm just thinking about that Twitter interaction where that weird white guy said, being a gay black man myself. Not saying anything, it reminded me of that, and I thought it was funny. They dropped these kinds of laws even in the Soviet Union. They didn't have these laws in the Soviet Union in the first place. Abortions were banned in the USSR Oh my god. Amid Stalin's terror in 1936 and allowed in 1955, 2 years after he died. I was born there in 1955, and I know a bit about the USSR, which I helped to transform into the Commonwealth of Independent States in 1991. Now, just Googling that guy's name right there says that he's a Russian politician who served as the former and the first Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation under President Boris Yeltsin. Okay. Well, shoot. Would you look at that? Oh, I love Twitter. Mutes don't help you bend notes. Ever heard of a plunger mute? You definitely can. Yep, in my 20 years of trumpet playing, I've come across plunger mutes. The type of bends he's doing here, beautifully, are very common in jazz and are not performed with a plunger mute. Everyone's an expert. Famous basement dweller Stephen King. Biden is a disgrace to humankind, an embarrassment to the human race in every respect. Yeah, but he's got a real job, not a podcast. Yeah, you're right. Millions of listeners a day on a podcast while you're watching porn in your mama's basement, yearning for the days that people actually give a crap about your dumb ass. Nice comeback, dip. Get a job, loser. Famously lazy, not at all productive Stephen King. Sure. Right, Dan. Millions of listeners a day, by the way? Man, that's something I'd really want to look into. Jordan is a country many Palestinians went to as refugees. It's also a country that slaughtered Palestinians on more than one occasion, such as in Black September in 1970. Telling Palestinians to go back to Jordan is not dissimilar to telling Jews to go back to Poland. You really should learn a thing about the region before spouting this nonsense. Damn. Read about the PLO and Jordan, etc. Does my PhD in Middle Eastern politics count on Twitter? No. You just have to do some Googling at weird sites that really have no, validity. Feeling quite grateful for the people at YouTube right now. We disagree plenty, but it's increasingly clear to me how much worse it could have gone. Have you been a creator on YouTube? This response says you aren't aware of any of the issues YouTube creators have. Are you really asking Hank Green, if he's been a creator on YouTube? Are you actually high, or were you trying to be funny? Because I mean, either is fine, but you weren't very funny if that's what you were going for. The text in Portuguese means a woman posting about martial arts as if she knows anything about it. Oh, I see. Yeah. Look at all these medals and tournaments and competitions and everything I've been involved in and been awarded. Yeah, I know nothing about the subject matter. Oh, that's so sad. Bruh. Unfollow of It's an Issue. It's my opinion. I like his Ben 10 videos. I am him. And if you have an issue with Pride Month, that's not the kind of audience I want watching my videos. Hell yeah, Rob. Hell yeah. I guess you don't remember Princess Diana dying. Dude, I wrote Princess Diana dying. Oh, you know how Twitter users are. You don't know anything, you can't know anything, you're owned by the government, and oh, that's tenfold if you're a woman. That's just how these people are. Features I would have if I were making an MP FPS. An MP? What? Oh, multiplayer. I'm stupid. No SBMM in casual play. Ranked mode, lobbies that stay together, red dots on the minimap, map voting, just to name a few. Hint, I am making that game. LMAO. I love how people think no SBMM is going to make their game work. Haven't been in the industry that long, I guess. Seriously? I guess being the executive producer at Infinity Ward on Call of Duty for 10 years doesn't qualify. Plus, another decade making games. Seriously, do these people, are they gluttons for some kind of embarrassment? Is that their kink? How hard is it to Google a guy? Or even better yet, no joke, try this little trick. Click on the profile, and it will tell you the person wrote the bio themselves. It will tell you who they are and what they do. So that way, you might save yourself the embarrassment. Guy incorrectly explains how addiction works to a psychologist. Addiction/dependency is a little more complicated than that. Actually, it is not. Okay. Masturbate for the first time in your life. Your dopamine levels will spike the sky. Now do it 2 more times and your dopamine will get higher and higher. Next day, do the same thing. And the day after, well, for a week or 2, your mind will get addicted to the action and you'll start getting cravings. Boom. You're officially addicted after 2 to 3 months of masturbation 3 to 4 times a day. I've been a doctor of psychology almost 20 years, including many years doing substance abuse counseling at university. I specialize in SUD and did original research into SUD and comorbid PTSD in combat veterans. I spent the first 8 years of my professional career solely working in both high-intensity outpatient and inpatient roles at Resurgence Rehab in LA. I also have about 17 different certificates in various substance abuse counseling subspecialties. See, that's a guy who's not messing around.
Actually just jerk off for a few times a day for several months, and that's how addiction is.
Do you understand E of economy? I know nothing. I've merely got a master's degree in economics and business from a very old Ivy League college in America, and can show the certificate, and was a regional economics correspondent in Hong Kong and Singapore at a magazine called Far Eastern Economic Review. Yeah, I have absolutely no idea what the economy's all about or how it works. Every short film at festival about widowed father learning to braid daughter's hair. Is this an r/I ate the onion moment, or ate the onion? Judging by the OP's username, I'm thinking nah. Oh, check that out. In the wild. On a post about iconic movie scenes recreated in Lego. What's the movie after Godzilla? The Prince of Egypt. The scene with Moses splitting the Red Sea. Actually, it's the 10 Commandments from 1956 starring Charlton Heston. Why do you think so? Because I built it. Plastics give off a ton of toxins, in addition to being very high embodied heat fuels. Oh, okay. These guys should have been on air when they got out of the engine. Wow, I don't know what the hell this guy's talking about, but it sounds wild to see. Love a bit of Reddit armchair firefighting. Okay, I was a firefighter for 15 years, engineer and toxicology advisor to my hazmat team, since I have also practiced emergency and internal medicine for 25 years. Your qualification in these fields are... Oh, they're a Reddit armchair professional. I mean, they kind of admitted to it there, supposedly. Why did we all bust our asses getting Democrats elected to the presidency and in control of both houses of Congress if they can't do a simple thing like raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour? Maybe you should run for office and make it happen instead of Twitter raging. Just a thought. Bill Clinton put me in charge of getting the minimum wage increased in 1996, and despite the fact that the Senate and House were both under Republican control, we did it. Maybe you should join me in Twitter raging right now. Yeah, I agree. Let's rage a little bit in a place that matters. Let's put some pressure on the right places, the right seams, right? Also, $15 an hour? That's not really going to help anybody at this point in time anymore. It's gotta be like double that at this point, dude. I'm sorry. Do you know ADA? I'm not looking to prevent any person or animal from being together, but there is a lot of misinformation about emotional support animals versus service animals and the legal requirements. People should have access to the correct information. Spreading misinformation doesn't help anyone. And of course, you're the expert on it. I actually am. It's literally part of my job. This is a bot comment written with code produced by one of the moderators. Please be wary of clicking on external links, both for security and misinformation reasons. The most likely original source is this. I wonder if the bot should have seen the unworthy.com text in there. The bot's looking for the story's origin, not the post's origin. You know I am the bot, right? Beep boop. Oh dear. Fox News has done to our parents what they thought gangster rap would do to us. His rifle safety is off, her finger is on the trigger, they came within a literal inch of murdering at least 2 protesters. The trigger finger makes sense, the safety off does not. You know about guns, my guy. Yeah, that's me, the former Marine infantryman who knows nothing about guns or this particular weapon. You got me, sport. It's not been a great 2023 for US small launch companies so far. Let's hope Rocket Lab puts that right in about 10 minutes. Not US Rocket Company, it is from New Zealand. Okay, here's the About Us page, it's that easy. It's so fun when someone tries to teach one of the main specialists on space business about Rocket Lab country of origin. I'll bet. Telling a member of the band about his bandmate. You know, it's not their fault, but the silence on yesterday's events from some of these hugely popular country singers who are based in Tennessee is embarrassing. They could have some real influence over voters in Tennessee, but they're too afraid to lose their beer song privileges. Yes, I'm mad. Please check out Jason Isbell. Granted, not necessarily country, but definitely American. Think he has been in Nashville for over a decade. Guy tells Josh Barnett, 35-8 MMA record, that he definitely couldn't fight in a cage. Wait, what? And you definitely couldn't fight in that cage. I don't see why you guys talk about each other. It's ridiculous. Did you just say I couldn't fight in the MMA cage? This may be the dumbest thing ever said to me on here, and that's a spectacular achievement. That really is. The bar has to be pretty high on the dumbest things ever said on Twitter. Especially to you personally. Nice to meet you. Back in high school, I was at a thing and saw another young lady there about my age. I went over and introduced myself and chatted with her. She was super sweet. Then she said, "Oh, I just met another girl a few minutes ago, and I think you should meet." So I followed her. "OP, this is blank," she said, showing me a tiny, pale, blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl who also looked about my age. "Have you guys met?" "Yes, we have. As a matter of fact, she drove me here." "Wow, what a coincidence. That's so funny," she said. "Because we live together." She paused. "Because she's my sister." Then we all laughed. I'm dark-haired, dark eyes, olive skin, so it's not crazy that she didn't realize this. Plus, by then, I was bigger than my sister and probably looked older, so that didn't help matters. On a post asking how a game's NPC memories are implemented. It's probably a retrieved query of a relationship database like SQL. The query would select from a table with a record primary key of the character, table of thoughts sorted in date order. Wow, this is hard to read. The thoughts themselves are probably generated during/after an event or task with a variety of outcomes based on the modifier of past actions, and then saved to the relationship database table. They're just in an array. No database or anything like that. Y'all are really overcomplicating it. You could do it with a custom array system, but it's harder to write queries and can come overly complicated, or become overly complicated, with difficult maintenance. So it's probably done that way. I'm literally the game's second programmer. We don't need to write queries on them. Telling the director of Shazam what's in his own movie? Sounds like a Mandela effect thing. It was never in the finished movie. We cut it since the end was dragging. It was only included as a deleted scene. Nope, it was in the movie. Definitely not a Mandela effect. In fact, I remember discussing it with my friend who is the seventh seat for, and what will it mean for future storylines. It could be different regions could have presented movie differently. No, you are wrong. The guy that made the movie knows more than you about the movie. I'm sorry, but you lose. Good day, sir! Might want to ask someone with experience. Might want to talk to someone who knows about that kind of sheet metal. Something as simple as not lining up the bolt holes may make a difference. I asked a machinist and designer with more than a decade of experience, and he said it would be good. He was the handsome guy in the mirror. Me! On a Call of Duty sub, Marksman. Sniper rifles are, and have always been lame in COD. Why am I using a bolt action with a 10x zoom on it for 100 meters? I can shoot a target with a handgun at that range. It's silly. Ground War, Warzone, and DMZ are the only real viable place for them. There is no way you could hit a human-sized target at 100 meters with a handgun reliably. You'd need to be a professionally trained shooter. I am. I shoot competitively. Lol, I'm sure you have a ton of experience firing a fully automatic weapon. Yeah, 6 years in the Army. Much of that as an infantry team leader. Primary weapon was an M4. Also trained with M240, M249, M2A1, light and heavy machine guns. They sucked to clean. You could say I have a lot of experience. Obviously a lot more than Kid Rock. Have a nice day. College hockey player doesn't know hockey. You don't know hockey and it's okay. Show me yours. Show me yours right now. Where are you playing? Where's your footage of you playing hockey on TV? Where is it? I was the main speaker at an event in Victoria, BC. I went through the front entrance and the girl at registration looked at me and said, "Janitor's entrance is at the side." I said, "Look behind you." When she turned, there was a huge 5x size poster of my face hanging there. What a weird thing to say to anybody. Really, why would you do that? Why would you assume, "Oh, you're the janitor, go that way"? Dude, you don't get to do that. Ask me who I am, get me checked in, get me ready to go, so that you can avoid being completely embarrassed. You seem like the type of person that would also be kind of mean about the janitor showing up. Guy doesn't know he was looking at a professional skier. Not a good skier. Oversteering too deep with too much weight. Lucky you're fine. All right, what actually I find fascinating here is the societal abnormality of the social media era. Okay, brother. Where attempting to show one's expertise in the field results in showing that person's ignorance. It's a weird side effect of our new digital world where people having this yearning desire to weigh in on a subject they know little to nothing about. I'm less interested in what this guy is saying, more interested in the underlying psychology of why and how one can feel the personal need to comment on a subject they have zero expertise in. Fascinating. Liquid Snake, I want some Twin Snakes music. For a second, I thought Seth Everman replied to my tweet, you meanie. Sorry about that. It's fine, no worries. Wait a fucking second. This is like the Tony Hawk effect. How do you not recognize Seth Everman? Didn't know what he bit off when talking about the 2B2T world download. The what world download? If it's under 256K out, there's no point because all those chunks have been generated. 120K out since it's 256K in diameter, but yeah. No, there's a 256K radius world download now. My man, I'm the one who did the majority of the world download you're referring to. It's 256K diameter and 128K radius. Oh, is this the griefing Minecraft server? Is that what it is? Hippogriff. Those are a separate species. Citation needed. You're literally speaking to someone who's part of the EAW team. That's the shortest debate I've ever had. Oh man, screw debates. Lady in public lane. You're very good at swimming, you know. Me. Thanks. No, seriously, you should try it and do a trial with the county club. Well, actually, I went to a couple of Olympics. Me too. Which sports did you manage to get tickets for? Oh, no, my dear. I know you finished this conversation. I know you did. Show us. Someone on TikTok accused me of stealing a stand-up joke, and when I asked them from who, they sent a clip of someone doing the joke, and that someone was me. Senator tries to educate Attorney General on the law. Cotton, your memo specifically says they should not pursue what has been in the standards for decades. Or sorry, has been the standard for decades. I cannot read. Garland, I'm well aware of the standard because I helped write the standard, by the way. What qualifies this astrophysicist to be a spokesperson about a moon landing? I'm just curious what qualifies this person to be a spokesperson and why they're touring a scientific facility. She doesn't appear to be a scientist or particularly outdoorsy, just really confused what message is supposed to be sent here. I'm an astrophysicist, you dingleberry. Well, that's awkward. Blue calls out Yellow, not realizing Yellow is someone they're trying to buy from? Wait, what? Who are you? More importantly, who do you think you are? Your questions are disgusting. Instead of demanding someone answer to you after you've effectively called them a liar, takes a lot of nerve and a total lack of insight. How about you post here receipts of all the great and amazing things you've done? You know who I am. You frequent my D-stash, my desk stash often. As we speak, you have an active transaction with me. Whoa. Recently at a doctor's appointment, and she was explaining the evidence-based guidelines for a test and why I should get it. Doctor, the guideline states, it came from evidence showing. How do you know that? I wrote the guideline. Aha, nice. Gotti. You guessed wrong. Not really what Pfizer said, but I'm guessing you didn't do well enough in your STEM classes to understand the difference. Oh, you mean these degrees, this Bachelor of Science and Master of Science from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology? You know, MIT? Are these not good enough for you? Of course they wouldn't be. You're on Twitter. Explaining what dubstep is to one of the originators of the genre. Wait, dubstep is a bass music genre consisting of either growly and wubby basses or hypnotic and ambient arrangements of sub-bass, bass, and sound effects. Or lead sounds with a sub-bass at the bottom or a mix of multiple. Cheers. I guess I'll research ASAP. Okay. Clearly you don't work in the accountancy world, where this tax caused more angst amongst those that have worked hard, saved, and want their future generations to be given a helping hand. I was a Queen's Counsel. I am now a King's Counsel who specialized in tax. Kevin, I suspect you've never been a teacher. I have been a classroom teacher, a senior leader, a school governor, a DFE consultant, and a director of free schools. Does that count to this guy? Probably not, because when people get embarrassed, they immediately double down. The Air Force trained an AI drone to destroy SAM sites. Human operators sometimes told the drones to stop. The AI then started attacking the human operators. So then it was trained to not attack humans. It started attacking comm towers so humans couldn't tell it to stop. Nice work, AI. Signed, one of the people who started worrying about Skynet in 1982. Hashtag the Terminator. 2 years before the movie came out? Are you a Terminator? I co-wrote it. We wrote it before we filmed it. No way, really? Bass player for the David Matthews Band? I don't think we call it is it the Dave? I thought it was the Dave Matthews Band. Dave, not David. On the train to my early morning flight out of Tampa International, wearing my DMB Guilford whatever hoodie, and a guy asks me if I went to his concert last night. His concert? Nah, I wasn't there. Nice. Gotcha. I don't think you know much about software development then. How come? Many reasons to maintain software. One of the main one being adjusting to newly found security vulnerabilities discovered which you definitely want to patch. I can expand on some other reasons, but that one is key. Interesting. I hadn't heard about security vulnerabilities before. Not sure why I should care about them though. Let's take a very concrete example. If you haven't updated your iPhone for a while, you can just visit a website that can access and install software on your phone and take admin access. That was patched, but only if you updated your iOS. Damn, I forgot I made one of those websites. Whoa! Leicester? Is it Leicester? Tigers? Home ground is Welford Road. Man, British words, let me tell you. I presume you've never played at Welford Road yet then. I played for the Tigers for 6 years, actually. At least credit the artist. Nathan Pyle, Strange Planet. You mean the guy who posted it? This is maybe the third time this has ever happened in the history of the internet. Tops, co-founder of lauded AI research firm, probably doesn't know what he's talking about. For anyone who's unsure about the technical details and is trying to go by signals, blah blah blah, bull bull bull, this guy's misunderstanding how it works, and that's fine. Don't listen to me, I don't understand language model fine-tuning. I'm merely the first author of the paper Universal Language Model Fine-Tuning, which explained 5 years ago how to fine-tune universal language models. I'm surprised that the reviewers for the Association of Computational Linguistics conference didn't notice I didn't understand how LLMs work and published the work anyway, and that the 3,694 people that have cited it since then also missed this important issue. On author Ellen Hopkins' post about books being banned, some of her books have been on bans lists. Really? Why? It's banning pornography. Sorry, but you really need to educate yourself on this. If the mainstream media couldn't show it on national television because it was so graphic, then it shouldn't be allowed in schools. Wait, you're telling me about book banning? Do you even know who I am? That's freaking rich, buddy. Do some research? I am the research! Okay, that's the greatest comeback of all time. I am the research is freaking incredible, and more people need to say it, please. Will you be casting Superman and Batman in the next couple of months? Superman casting has begun. Casting call for Clark Kent has begun for Superman Legacy. Luke Eisner is the lead contender. What? False. Casting has not begun. How do you know it's false? He is the man making the goddamn movie. Although, I think we're actually at the point now where he has, 3 pairs of people that he's going to be deciding on within the next few weeks. I think that's the idea here. Anyway, I hope it's Nicholas Hoult. I really hope that guy gets to go from about a boy to Superman.
Through a friend of a friend, my name was recommended to a space startup as a good design reviewer. The enthusiastic young engineer that interviewed me asked, "Do you know anything about rocket engines?" I'm inclined to take the job at no charge. Could be fun.
Wayne Hale is a former space shuttle program manager and flight director for 40 missions. Now retired from NASA after 32 years, currently consults for SAS and full-time grandpa. And he still needs to do an interview? Are you kidding me? If he has to get interviewed, then what about new startup employees? Do they have to go through the Hunger Games or something?
How about you get off your butt and do something? #resist is bullshit.
Run for office. Argue your points. I'm an elected member of the California State Assembly. Not to kill your fun or anything, my dude, but I noticed you reblogged a picture of some place in Russia for the aesthetic, and do you even know what goes on in Russia? I try to stay away from reblogging anything about it, and you should too. I'm Russian. I'm sorry, that's no excuse. You have to hate everything about the place because of the bad current power. This doesn't put me on the wrong side of history because I'm hating for good reasons. And by the way, the sound effect when you take a keycard, I know that is from a game called Smash Hit. It happens when you get a park. I mean, like a circle thingy that gives you ability to do things easier. Oh, you have a sharp ear. It's a placeholder sound effect, but I made that game too, so it's okay. So, very genuinely, what are schools actually being asked to do? Well, wait to see what your head teacher directs you to do. There are a few alternatives. I am the head teacher. Well, simply you just... 4 dudes giving each other portfolio reviews at Midtown Comics. One looked decent, so I asked if I could look. He told me not to bother them. Oh well. Just to fathom how much these persons' egos destroyed their futures. These rude gentlemen may have just blown the biggest career opportunity they've ever had because C.B. Cebulski just so happens to be a talent scout for Marvel Comics.
Quantum computers can do better than a naive iterative brute force. Grover's algorithm allows a 256-bit key to be cracked in only 2 above 128 iterations. Is that a lot? Is that not much at all? I'm a simple human. I just read memes on the internet. This is still an infeasible calculation, but significantly less than what has been quoted.
Oh, I love it when someone posts their Google search result.
Yeah, I tried Googling, but it kept coming up with articles about some security researcher breaking one of Google's AES implementations in 2019. Oh, they have the same name as me. Weird. I'm walking in the bank and the security guard asks me if I ever watch boxing. I said, from time to time. He said, you look just like Devin Haney. Wow, the comparisons, it's incredible. Asking an indie rock band to fix your garden shed.
Shed 7, why don't you answer your phones? I've tried without success to contact you for weeks since you failed to install my shed on November 24th.
Sorry to hear you shed hasn't been installed, Joe, but we manufacture indie rock anthems and, alas, cannot help you. We'd be bloody useless with a hammer.
Then how did you make 7 of them?
Said nice shirt to this dude walking by us, and he had no idea what we were talking about. Thought I would capture the moment. This is the kind of pranking I love to see, where, it's not exactly degrading anyone, but it's still a little bit of fun knowing they have no idea. I wonder if author Margaret Atwood has any idea what The Handmaid's Tale is about.
The Handmaid's Tale comes to life in Alabama. Women must heed the warning.
Australian Beauty, why are you commenting on this?
I think you and I were watching different shows.
She literally wrote the book, Chad. My dude, she's not gonna sleep with you no matter how hard you try, he said about the girl I'm marrying in 31 days.
That's not sleeping with, though. That's just a secure, long-term relationship.
Yeah, so what? That thing actually requires a lot more effort to maintain and is far more difficult to keep going. And, it's really admirable you managed to get married and stuff.
It's not worth as much as getting your willy wet.
To the person who messaged me yesterday with this. I thought you should know that fine is spelled wrong. It looks sloppy and gives a bad impression if there are spelling mistakes.
It's my actual name, and I've been spelling it that way for all my life, so haha.
Asking the drummer of the Smiths whether he's a Smiths fan. Hey, I noticed you post a lot of Smiths stuff. Are you a fan? Did you ever see them live? Never saw the Smiths live, unfortunately. It will always be a regret of mine. I had a pretty good view at every gig, though. Oh, if that person didn't think this was sus the moment they saw that. There's a theory that the reason our solar system is moving is because there's a huge planet out there that has a gravitational pull so large that it's moving all the planets towards it. Another theory is that it's a black hole, so either way, we're fricked.
Neither of these are true. The solar system orbits around the supermassive black hole at the center of the galaxy.
How do you know? You saw it?
I have a degree in astrophysics, so yes, actually.
Hey, have you ever discovered an artist before the fame? Yeah, I found Chief Keef. Yeah, sure, buddy. Soulja Boy discovered Chief Keef. Oh, do-dee-do-detta, my man-a-doody-doo. I'm Soulja Boy's former DJ. SoundCloud wouldn't let the singer and producer of this song upload because it's copyrighted by him.
Hey guys, SoundCloud won't let me upload Pac-Man because it's copyrighted. Kinda shot myself in the foot here.
Literally the team itself. Did you trade Smoke? No, he has neck tightness and could be available to pinch hit if needed. Yeah, source? It's like they commented that without even reading who replied. They just saw a reply notification and immediately typed, source? Tomato, personally. But no, it was literally us, the Blue Jays. If you were really a Star Wars fan, you would know that Star Wars has always been filled with strong female characters. Hope you got the virtual signal and kudos you were looking for. Fun fact, not only am I really a Star Wars fan, I also happen to voice a Star Wars character who just happens to be one of those strong female characters. That doesn't make what I saw in the season finale of The Mandalorian any less thrilling or inspiring. Spectre 5, out. Exclusive! David Ayer's cut of Suicide Squad is happening, and it'll be on HBO Max towards the end of 2021. It's not true. Again, we trust our sources and are standing by them. It's not true. Again, we trust—
It's literally me!
Friends at conferences, please do not assume that the people that you talk to do not know anything. I just got told that I should read what Stanton et al. Found about pain. I am Stanton. Just to be clear, I would never expect people to know what I look like. The more hilarious part of this was that the earlier part of the conversation had more of a condescending tone with recommendations of what I should read, which happened to be my paper. Life, hey? Her father was the lead visual effect artist on Star Wars. I found this. It's gross and smells old. Does anyone want it? See, The Adventures of Luke Starkiller. As taken from the Journal of the Wills by George what? Fake! That's not what the movie was called, and they spelled his name wrong.
It seems like you might be unfamiliar with who Skydart's father is.
You ever heard of camera exposure? Hey Matt, I have actually. About 90% of my stories on TV are shot, written, and edited by me. I love to shoot. And I'm not half bad either. I won my first Emmy for a story I shot alone, so I'm really proud of that. I've learned a lot from photographers at my station too. Here, let me show you my skills. Alright then, wait, why do you have a gun? In all fairness, I don't tend to wear t-shirts with my boss's name on them. So a nice guy working at the grocery store today told Josh and I that I'm too young to be wearing an Alice Cooper shirt. So there's that. Just gonna casually put this photo here. Again, why do we gatekeep passion? Stop it! Me explaining something I've studied extensively. Someone who just used Google.
You're gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong?
When the person who's ripping on your art on Twitter has your art as their avatar without even realizing it. All the men are properly proportioned and the women have no organs. Okay, J. Scott Campbell. Just a quick men's mental health tip. 90% of the time these bodies are only attainable through heavy juicing or steroid abuse, which causes heart problems in your 30s to 40s. Think of it like someone wearing heavy makeup. It's fine, it's great. If it's a passion of yours, hell yeah, express yourself. Pursue what you want to do with your body. Just don't parade it as some natural standard. Anyway, and he is confused as to why we think men shouldn't draw. They say, using the artwork he drew, insecurity, you can't do it. Anxiety, everything will go wrong. Swedish cat. Meow. You guys really don't know how Swedish works, huh? I'm Swedish, CEO of a massive esports team. Dude walked by me wearing a TL double lift jersey. I joked that he needs a new TSM jersey. The guy looks at me, scoffs, and goes, "What would you know about esports?" She's the CEO of Evil Geniuses. So she probably knows just a little bit. Frick, this might be my favorite photo of all time. Oh, thank you! R/not OP, but okay. It's my photo. As most probably know, QT owns the New Beverly Theater. Quentin Tarantino's personal 35mm print of Pulp Fiction plays tonight, Friday at midnight.
Oh, yeah, right. His personal print from his house? Like you just called him up like, yo, can I borrow your 35mm personal print of Pulp Fiction from your house, Quentin Tarantino? All buddy, all pal?
Well, that's basically exactly how it went. I think you're missing something here. Having a in politics is better than being a constitutional lawyer, right? Weird of you to reply to a tweet of mine professing an all-seeing eye on US politics and constitutional affairs off the back of watching one documentary. Maybe try doing a degree in it and working there for 4 months. Helped my understanding is all. I'm a constitutional lawyer, Tom. It's genuinely astounding how many just brain-dead narcissists there are on Twitter in the world. Like, this guy is clearly not even in his 30s yet, and he thinks he knows so much about what he's in that he doesn't need any outside advice or knowledge. Twitter allows you to connect to people smarter and more experienced than you. Take advantage of that, Tom! I've got no idea what the frick you're talking about. Oh, yo, it's DJ Cactus! Finally, one of these memes where I actually know who the celebrity is. Read Ouroboros, you goddamn boomer! Uh-huh, I wrote it. Oh, right. Well, I just gotta throw this whole account away. Star Wars: The Force Awakens has completed principal photography. But the title hasn't even been announced yet. We just did. Getting a cappuccino today, and barista says, "Did anyone ever tell you that you look just like Tom Morello?" I say, "All the time." He says, "I'll bet." I order my coffee. He says, "What's the name?" I say, "Tom." He says, "Your name is Tom too? That's crazy!" I'm like, "It sure is." I was waiting for him to pop up in this subreddit. I swear half of this should be his experiences. This just happened, and maybe this is where it all ends. I got an elevator with 3 people. One guy, with his wife, sarcastically, "Anyone ever tell you," and stops. Me, amused. "Yes, but you're the first today." His wife, "I'm sorry, I tried to stop him from doing the joke." Elevator stops, couple exits to their floor. other guy.
What's the joke?
Me. I get mistaken identity a lot.
Mistaken for who?
Tony Hawk.
Ah, you do look like him.
Elevator stops again. He exits on his floor. I am left alone, heading upwards and feeling perplexed. Asks the founder of Wikipedia to go read stuff on Wikipedia. Most of the articles in Wikipedia have absolutely zero cited sources. This is transparently false and easy to check. It isn't really helpful to your cause, whatever it is, to make things up out of thin air.
Sir, this is a fact. Kindly read all the articles on Wikipedia first. Why will I make things up out of thin air? How would that help me or my cause in any way?
It is not a fact to claim that most Wikipedia articles have no sources. It is a false, and anyone can check it in 5 seconds. Stop saying silly things. If someone puts down a +4 card, you must draw 4 and your turn is skipped. You can't put down a +2 to make the next person draw 6. We know you've tried it.
I reject your reality.
Okay, alright, whoa. What about a 4 on a 4? No.
Oh, know how to play the game right.
So many solutions to the lack of women in tech don't get at the actual problems. Okay, Casey, read the full article. There's a chicken and egg problem with female tech role models. Men want to be the next Jobs, Gates, etc. Thomas, I wrote the article.
I posted a joke on Reddit and had 1,000 people tell me, hey loser, you stole this from r/white people Twitter. I followed the link and it was a screenshot of my joke. It's great. People don't look into anything at all. Unicorn founder and CEO of Twitch.tv, what? Y Combinator partner and Yale CS grad does not know software engineering. Excuse me? Maybe, just maybe, you don't understand how good software engineering works. Even more important, how it is done by good software engineers. If you think Zoom is even majority software engineers, I have some surprising news for you. Maybe you don't know how good software engineering works, Emmett, founder of Twitch.television. I didn't know who he was, so I have this condition, syndrome, I don't know. I'm just not good with faces. You're face blind. And my vision isn't the best either. This happened many years ago. A group of friends and I went off to watch some fairly famous local indie band and enjoyed a nice hour of chill and cool music. After the concert ended, I wanted to keep a memory of the occasion, so I asked the first guy I found to take a picture of us. He looked confused, my friends looked mortified, but he took it. After he left, they told me he was the main guitarist. I had just asked the guitarist to take a picture of total nobodies. None of my friends have allowed me to live this situation down, and I don't think they ever will. Well, that's kind of impressive, I have to say. Man with profile named after show Sons of Anarchy goes after Jason Isbell, not realizing that the show featured Isbell's music. All right? You're hack. No, that's not what it says. You are hack. Who should be served with a box ticket, clown. Hey, that show you named yourself after used some of my music. Love it. Are people on Twitter always in attack mode? Yeah, constantly, dude. That's kind of what it was built for, you know? Super fast action rage bait. Getting ready for the weekend. Happy Halloween. I'm not Tony Hawk. Random person explaining an astronaut, or explaining to an astronaut, remember the word, how space works. To be completely clear, at the altitude at which a Mach 10 hypersonic aircraft would be flying, the ejection suit, I don't know why I added suit to that, the ejection would be very survivable. The re-entry into the atmosphere in just a pressure suit, not so much. A Mach number is the ratio of an object's speed in a given medium to the speed of sound in that medium. Did you just copy, like, the Wikipedia headline? The ISS travels in a vacuum, so there's no medium. A Mach number doesn't even exist for a spacewalk. A, checks notes, gardener explaining how space things work to, an astronaut who actually worked in space. Twitter is amazing. There are few jobs I would say are impossible for 99.99% of the population. But astronauts, cosmonauts, whatever the hell you want to call them, I think we've always called them astronauts, I don't care. But point being, that's one of the hardest jobs ever. The scrutiny for who gets to go up is more insane than like almost anything else, ma'am. Look at who gets to be president versus the, 4.5 people that have been allowed to go to space, because you've got to be not just smart, you have to prove that you're smarter than most of the population that has ever lived. Now, there's probably at least a few astronauts that completely watch MK. I mean, why wouldn't they? This is top tier content, of course. They're probably watching this right now, hearing me say this, and they're thinking to themselves, well, I'm stupid. Well, no, trust me. The guy you're listening to right now, Scott Kelly, subscriber to MK, that guy's stupid. You know what's not stupid, though? The new merch over at MKShop.com. Make sure you head on over and use code BOOBIN at checkout for free shipping. A classic case of r/don't you know who I am? Obi-Wan. Now, that's a name I've not heard in a long time. I think my uncle knows him. He said he was dead. He's not dead. Not yet. You know him? Well, of course I know him. He's me. Yeah? Okay, I guess. I personally don't see it, but sure. This dude telling famous producer and rapper John Wayne that his music isn't hip-hop. Famous who? Never heard the name. Not hip-hop, but very cool arrangement. This is news to me. Don't get me wrong. Sweet timing and neat arrangement. Zero knocks in talent and hardware. No problem, and thanks for listening. I appreciate the input. I was just taken off guard. First time someone told me what I was doing wasn't hip-hop. Guess there's a first for everything. Bro, we get it. You don't like the game, but a lot of people do and are enjoying the game. Go make cocks on Zelda or something for real. That's literally my quote at the top. Wait, really? Hey, I've been seeing a lot of Gene lately. I love it. I love it. People are quite stupid. I mean, I am too. Not saying that I'm in the camp of smart people by any means, but geez. Vindman is both puppet and puppeteer. Question is, who pulls his strings? Musk is a fascist troll. His rhetoric is the same as Bannon's, who organized a recent globalist puppet masters conference. Define fascist, liar. Bet you can't. Okay, let's see. All right. She wrote the book on fascist, is it modernities? Modernities? I don't know. I've never really figured out how to say that word from the get-go. But check that out. Define it. Well, here's the book I wrote on it. So how about you kiss my ass? A Capitol police officer who was nearly crushed to death in one of the most frightening situations I can imagine. Why? He got compressed a little. He'll live with a fat taxpayer pension. Have you been paying attention to what the pigs have been doing to us for the last century plus? Imagine asking Robert Evans at I Write OK, host of Behind the Bastards, creator of It Could Happen Here, Behind the Police and Uprising, a guide from Portland Riot regular and streamer and owner of Hand Smashed by a Proud Boy, if he's been paying attention. Outstanding. That was a lot, so many words crushed together in a way that was almost unreadable, but I do get what you're saying. Ah, yes, I'm Nielsen. Lost the title after he annoyed the FIDE president with questions about transparency. That's not how the norms work, my guy. But I like your attempt to egg him, though. Just for the record, I do know how norms work. We covered them briefly in a recent I.O. seminar, alongside how to calculate performance rating, though the norm requirements themselves I knew beforehand in less intricate detail. No context for me, man. But sure. Netflix emails a recommendation for Kunk on Earth to Diane Morgan, who plays Philomena Kunk. I really hope I'm saying that name correctly. I don't know what else it would be. I'm sorry. We've just added a TV program you might like. Netflix has just sent me an email suggesting I might like this. Well, do you like it or not, Diane? Do you? Answer. Do you think Blue Marvel could do this to 616 Hulk? No, it would be a toss-up. He couldn't just one-shot the Hulk. That would be disrespectful. The way I look at it, the Blue Marvel can hang with and beat anybody when it comes to the top-tier heroes. But they could also beat him up as well. It depends on what the story is and who's writing it. Same case for Sentry, you think? I like this interpretation. Blue Marvel is the guy you put in someone's path to stop them. And he may not win, but they're not going to get past him either. I have no idea what the Blue Marvel is. What is this? Cornelius Clay, blah, blah, blah. Sent only ever loses to bad writing. He one-shot a Beyonder. You're high. For those who do not know, Kevin created Blue Marvel. So you're literally telling the creator of a character that he is high AF in his evaluation of his own character's power levels. I'm gonna have to look into this Blue Marvel. I've never heard of this character before, ever. Hope you didn't pay for those on printables. Wait, what? USS what the f does that say? Okay, whatever. I hope you didn't pay for those F-14s. Those are free on printables.com. I know, I designed them and the ship. The jets are still free on all sites. Bro, you did an amazing job. You also did the MiG-23, didn't you? I don't know what this is for, but kinda cool nonetheless. Knowledge via marriage. I don't have screenshots, but I, female, once gently corrected a woman on social media regarding an erroneous statement she made about mental health, mostly because I didn't want other people to think what she said was accurate. She immediately replied replied that she knew what she was talking about because she was married to a mental health professional. My reply, well, my husband is also married to a mental health professional. Oh, I love it. Someone who thinks that they're smart by proxy. Well, my wife's a doctor, so I absolutely know what I'm saying to be true. Oh yeah? Well, I f***ing am a doctor, jackwagon. User over at r/chess posts an 8-year-old puzzle. The original poster of the puzzle replies. Oh boy, here we go. Show this to your students. Ask them to guess what's behind the gray square. Most will be shocked by the answer. If you know, don't spoil. How the hell would I know? That's confusing as hell, man. Okay, I don't know. The answer from 8 years ago. Please don't tell me you were scrolling down 8 years so far. Please say that you got this saved. Little bit of both. I'm the original poster. That's the coolest plot twist I've seen all week. A legendary internet moment. This is a real Ford F-150 moment, that's for sure. A 1997 Honda Civic moment, if you will. Ah, yes. A random YouTube or a random what is a psychologist expert. Ah, yes. Random commenter didn't take the time to see that I'm a licensed counselor and trauma therapist in the psychology field for 10 years. It's also great that whoever wrote that comment can't write worth shit. Ah, yes. Random YouTube is a psychologist expert. What? Dinesh D'Souza finds out who Academy Award-winning writer and director Billy Ray is. Let's see. I have no idea who you are, but I've made the 2 most successful political documentaries of the last decade. You, on the other hand, have not. Me, Captain Phillips, The Hunger Games, Richard Jewell, The Comey Rule, Breach, Shattered Glass, etc. You, a felony conviction. Stand down, asshole. You're bad for my country. Okay? Work on your reading comprehension. I'm trying, okay? I am doing my best, I promise. Let's see. You need to work on your reading comprehension. The highlighted portion of the study does not say what you seem to think it does. I'm acutely aware of what's written, in this. I co-authored the paper, kid. See my name, Kirsty Miller, at the top? Ooh, love it. I love it when the person that literally made it comes out of the woodwork or is involved right from the get-go, and the person responding has no idea that they're stupid. Imagine telling someone to really up on their reading comprehension, you know, only to not have any yourself. This user asks Summoning Salt to try it out in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. For those of you that don't know, Summoning Salt holds the world record in 6 of the 7 major Mike Tyson's Punch-Out categories. You know, I had no idea of that at all. I've been watching his videos for quite some time now because they're really, really interesting to go through. But I don't know why I didn't think that he would also be a world record holder. Wrong. If you uppercut him during his windback animation for the hook, you get a star. He also throws them constantly when at high health. He almost always throws 2 from the start of the match, followed by 2 uppercuts, if the only inputs you make are to dodge or attack. And it's not guaranteed, or a guaranteed knockdown on him, unless you hit him with blah, 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 blah. You're right. You can get a star from his hooks, but not the type of star you can instantly knock him down with, which is what Sinister was looking for. That's because he's exploiting a glitch. There's no different type of star, there's only one type. Okay? I mean, there's sort of 2 different types in that scenario. You need to get him into the insta knockdown pattern to beat him quickly, and to do that, he needs to go down for uppercuts and get a star when he does. But no, you can get as many of those stars off his uppercuts as you want, and the instant knockdown always works. Well, yeah, as long as you keep hitting the timing right and getting stars, but if you mess up the timing and hit him, but get no stars, miss the timing more than once or twice and it won't give you an instant KO. I'm not quite sure what you mean. From what I can tell, as long as you get the star from the uppercut, you never lose the ability to one-hit KO him. From what you can tell. Try it for yourself and see. I did. Did you try it? People regurgitating knowledge from watching YouTubers or streamers or someone else do something that you have not done. Just because you know some information doesn't mean you know everything. Would you look at that? Summoning Salt is first in, wow, all of that. Kinda crazy. Professional stunt writer Sarah Lazito is an amateur. What now? Trying to control that one friend that just gets too drunk. And this, children, is a graphic example of why professional stunt riders employ a lanyard to pin, which kills the motor as soon as the rider is a certain distance from the machine. Amateurs, on the other hand, provide content graphically displaying their inability to grasp basic concepts. Man, and even that got 2 little thumbs up and laughing reactions, I guess. I don't understand how Facebook works anymore. But can you imagine being this stupid? Luckily, I can't. Stay in school, PhD in chemistry. No, it's not. The metal is harmless. You're confusing it with mercury or with compounds of gallium, which have completely different properties. Stay in school. I've just finished my PhD in chemistry. Might I direct you to my paper on gallium chemistry and oh, well, that's a word I've never seen. brain. Either way, most of this sub to me is just, can you imagine telling somebody with a PhD to stay in school? What the hell do you mean stay in school? They're a doctor, you dipshit. I think they've conquered school. Olympian marathoner Molly Seidel gets coached on an airplane. Wait, what? On my flight, I was talking to a guy next to me and it came up that I run. He starts telling me how I need to train high mileage and pulls up analysis he's made of pro runners training on his phone. The pro runner was me. It was my training. I didn't have the heart to tell him. Why not? You shouldn't let people do crap like this. Like, I didn't fucking ask. What are you doing? What are you talking about? What, is he gonna fucking explode if you tell him that, hey, by the way, I'm the pro here. I don't know what you're talking about. That's me, by the way. So I ordered a Josh Giddey jersey a few weeks ago, and they sent me an extra. Anyone want a free Giddey jersey? Yeah, I want it. He don't know you, little bro. What do you... I think the fuck he does, actually. Nah, I don't know you, little bro. Christ. Damn, that's nasty. People die falling like that. The muscle flexion after she hit the ground is very concerning. That probably means her brain was seriously injured. LOL. You a doctor? Boxers do this getting knocked out all the time. Doesn't mean her brain is severely injured. Pseudo doctors on Twitter, man. Not a doctor, but a former EMT. Yeah, you don't have to be a doctor to know these things, but hey, being a trained EMT, that stuff's gonna stick with you probably the rest of your life, you know? Everybody so wants to jump on every response for every reason now that they more often than not end up looking like dingleberries. Your article is filled with either lies or inaccuracies, but either way, it's pretty much bullshit. Good job, LOL, and read the article. This is a well-respected journalist who has covered Korea and this crisis for decades. Show some respect. It's an article about me, dumbass. It's just showing that guy did not read the article. Or if he did, wow, he somehow doesn't know who Seth Rogen is? Man, can you hold this baby? My grandmother had no idea who she had just handed me to. When I was only a few months old, my mom, dad, and my grandmother ran into a woman who was being driven around in a limousine. My mother and father recognized her immediately, but my grandmother did not. My mom asked the woman if they could get a picture together, and the woman agreed. So my dad stepped back a few paces to take the picture. However, just before he snapped it, my grandmother, for some reason, handed me through the open door to the woman in the limousine. She was sitting in the back seat with her feet outside the car. My dad took the picture at that moment. Afterwards, as they were walking away, my mother was completely mortified that my grandmother had done that. Would you realize who that was? She didn't have a clue. That was Lady Bird Johnson. Oh, weird. My grandmother, in a moment of complete spontaneity, had just dumped me square into her lap. Mrs. Johnson was on a tour to meet the public and raise support for her husband shortly after he had just taken office. Kennedy had been shot only 6 or 7 months prior to this. Apparently, they had stopped for lunch, and that's why my family had bumped into her. She had happily agreed to a photo together, but hadn't expected that at the last moment my grandmother would hand her a baby. So, at my mom's house in one of our family albums, there's a photo in black and white of me as a baby being held by the perplexed-looking but very gracious First Lady of the United States of America. Where's the photo? Come on, where is it? Man, a simple bio check could have been nice. I'm sure it could have been. I love women telling men how their bodies work. Wait, what? Actually, I'm a urologist debunking crappy myths that hurt people. By the way, not a single male urologist I know endorses semen retention either. Excuse me, what retention? They're doing what? Is that like tantra shit? What are you talking about? She's literally the woman in the picture. My niece yelled, "It's you and Mom," while watching Wednesday. The bottom picture is totally not like 20 years old. What the hell are you talking about? Whatever, doesn't matter. Weird first date. Hell yeah, if that's how they are on the first date, the sky's the limit, right? Those weirdos are meant for each other and I love it. Who's this comedian? I've seen him post a few times here and he's really funny. You literally replied to him. I can't see a picture of the guy's face, but he is always on the front page of Reddit. Always. I cannot... What is his name, damn it? He's probably one of the best crowd workers I've seen, like, ever. Snape is all gray. You can't make him a saint. He was vindictive and bullying. You can't make him a devil. He died to save the wizarding world. No, he died to clear his conscience, okay? I'm not a big fan of JK anymore, but can you imagine? Remember, you see that question I keep asking? Can you imagine? That's the theme of today's video. But can you, for a moment, telling the author, the creator of a world, what a character's motivation was? A character character they invented from the ground up. Again, I don't like JK right now, or really at all anymore personally, but Jesus, man. Just because you're a fan does not mean you suddenly know it all, pal. It's deeply depressing that the killer app of contemporary machine learning is bullshit generation. We literally solved protein folding. I may not know what that means, but it sounds big. You know, it feels big. Protein folding does sound like a killer death metal band name, by the way. Don't forget, I am the guy that made it happen. A short story about a special invite. Now, before I begin, I do hope this is allowed, but I'll not share any screenshots as it would clearly identify me and the person who does not know who I am. I got an invite today to an online event for a tech company that partners with mine. The invite lays out how special and fantastic it will be, and that I really should attend. I'm the host! The ghost host? Don't leave us hanging though. Are you going or not? Might as well. Nothing better to do. I'll let you know if it's any good. You should decline the invite and give the reason that you know the host personally and have a problem with them. Former head of FBI counterintelligence. Ooh. You clearly don't understand the law when it comes to classified documents. Here, a tweet to support my assertion. Oh, please tell me more. This is the greatest site in the universe. The level at which people can make themselves look dumb has never been seen before. Thank you, Twitter. It's called Twitter. It will always be Twitter. It's not X. I'm not a dingleberry. I don't know why that word has been forced back into my vocabulary lately. I must have watched a movie where they said it a lot. Interviewer asks the band's guitarist. Oh boy. Age 23. From Los Angeles, California. Who was the best band? System of a Down. Biggest surprise? System of a Down. I just thought those guys were the best. Verdict? If you guys missed System of a Down, you missed everything. They blew me away. That's the band's guitarist. I've seen this image a few times and had no idea because I don't recall any of their songs off the top of my head, so of course I wouldn't really know what any of them look like. It would have taken 2 seconds to Google his name. Oh, here we go. DJ tips. Play at least 50% your own music in your set. Avoid toxic, failing artists and their negative energy. Post 3 times per week on TikTok. Find a manager that will fight for you. Realize that interesting brand is better than skilled music producer. What if, as a DJ, your own music simply isn't as good as the rest out there? My content is obviously directed at professional house and techno DJs. It sounds like you may have some work to do in the studio first. Wishing you all the best. I've done a few bits over the years, mate. Wait, hold on a second. I help DJs. Make sure you're posting 3 times a week on TikTok. I get it. I do get it. Also, I love that realizing that interesting brand over skilled music producer. I understand that branding for a lot of people trumps so many things. I mean, look at me. I have an iPhone. Technically speaking, there are many Android phones out there that will do way more for the same money, if not a bit cheaper. I do say a bit cheaper, because if you tell me that the flagship Samsung phones are somehow way cheaper than the flagship iPhones, no. But you know what I'm getting at. The reason Apple is so big is because, well, I mean, it was all about that beautiful brand. To be fair to both of these people, I don't know who either of them are, and I googled them both. Still not sure what the DJ has done after seeing his top songs. My favorite thing about this sub is people who know absolutely dick about the topic of the OP saying, I've never heard of either of them. Talk about missing the point. Me talking about fossils, random man interrupts me. I follow a page called Scottish Fossils on Instagram. Oh cool, that's me. No, this is someone else. They have a PhD. Yeah, it's me. Do you have tattoos? Excuse me? Wait, hold on a second. I feel like No, I don't recognize the tiny photo. Weird. He's the director for the event location. The allegation that the tournament venue was never booked was frankly baffling. It was 1,000,000,000% booked. You have any proof of this? Techport Center Arena isn't showing or even mentioning anything Smash related on their upcoming event calendars before or after it was canceled. I do. I'm their director of esports and gaming and have been planning this with Justin and our community for a while now. Thank you for clarifying. Oh, there you go. Anecdote. Once went to pitch a comedy drama to a certain commissioner. He expressed doubt that I had the right tone for the channel. Suggested I watch something called A Child's Christmases in Wales. I mean, I wrote that, I said politely. I don't think you've been to this country. I was born there. One thing about Afghans is that the average Afghan looks like they could be a model. Okay, where are the comments for this? Afghans are beautiful, but bro, the vast majority don't have colored eyes. If you go to Afghanistan, maybe 2 to 3% of the people there will have the classic green eyes. I don't think you've been to Afghanistan. 85% have colored eyes there. I was born there. Can almost certainly confirm that no, the majority have dark eyes. I've spent around 6 years on Twitter, or working on Twitter for Android, and can say that this is wrong. By the way, I'd like to apologize for Twitter being super super slow in many countries, the app is doing over 1,000 poorly batched RPCs just to render a home timeline. So the guy who owns Twitter and has access to the entire system is wrong, but the random internet dude is right. I'm gonna say incredulity. You know you're the random dude, right? I actually helped build this thing. Yeah, I love that. Someone paid for a check mark to feel special and thought that Elon Musk actually had more knowledge than one of the guys that fucking built the website. Which, by the way, Elon has never done a bit of. He created El Tigre. Let's see. Super Mario fan art over the years. How the hell did he nail the El Tigre art style? Tom thought she tweeted for a living. All right, let's see. Excellent, but watch the documentary. Weird of you to reply to a tweet of mine professing an all-seeing eye on U.S. politics and constitutional affairs off the back of watching one documentary. That's, man, the amount of extrapolation these dipshits can pull out of thin air is insane. Hey, maybe you should watch the documentary, though. Interesting that you said all these weird, random, stupid, ridiculous things without actually saying a fucking one of them. Maybe try doing a degree in it and working there for 4 months. Help my understanding is all. I'm a constitutional lawyer, Tom, and Tom is a dipshit. The uncredited English translator, all right? Pachinko, by whoever, was an incredible book. The uncredited English translator really captured all the nuances of the native Hangul. Thank you. It was written originally in English by an American. Me. I was credited as the author. God damn. You don't know who Will Wheaton is, do you? Will Wheaton? All right, let's see. I loved The Last Jedi. It hit all the right notes for me, and seeing it in the Chinese theater surrounded by my fellow nerds was glorious. The Force was with us. Oh, and I went in costume for the first time ever because I'm a damn adult and I get to decide what that means. That's Star Trek, dumbass. You just showed why everyone who liked that trash are morons. You don't know who Will Wheaton is, do you? I bet this earned him a block. Hell, I'm pretty sure even I'm blocked by Will Wheaton. Why? I don't know. I feel like one day he ran a script to block like 50% of Twitter users. Best in the world. Rando on Reddit. Awesome. That's not easy. Thank you, and you're right. God knows I've tried. Nice lap. He's got a bright future in sim racing. If I could make a suggestion, no one asked you to make a suggestion, I'd recommend turning off the look to Apex feature along with any other camera movement. He holds the world record, dude. I don't think he's looking for any suggestions from a random guy on Reddit. Yeah, even if you're right, your opinion was not asked for. OP claimed a handler who was bitten by his cobra died within 30 minutes and was refuted in the comments. The link is a peer-reviewed paper on the snake deaths in India. Oh boy. Bullshit bot reposter. Indian cobras almost never kill with their poison. Even if they do, it's not going to be in 30 minutes. On top of that, this is a snake handler. He has a high immunity because he was bitten a lot before, and he should have antidotes ready. What the heck? Are you an expert on cobras now? It's the most dangerous snake in the world. Unfortunately for you, yes. It's not every day you'd find someone who can pull out their peer-reviewed research article to refute your bogus claim. Must be a bad day for OP. I hope it is. Mark is an openly gay media analyst and writer. Random thought. The obsession with Harry Styles' sexuality fascinates me. Because it's where a new generation's golden rule, sexuality is fluid, you can choose from dozens of identities, etc., crashes into an older rule. Tell us who you are so we can decide what we think of you. Unless you're queer, you should be listening to queer fans on this topic, not commenting on it. There are things that impact us that others don't understand or care about. Not to worry. Why does anybody care about Harry Styles' sexuality? I don't give a f***. I don't care. What does it matter? Oh, he wants to wear a dress. Okay, cool, dude. Doesn't affect me. I don't give a shit. Just to be clear, Judd tweets lefty-slanted popular information and opinion for a living. He's about as far from a lawyer as you could possibly get. Lol. So please don't take his take on anything. What, without a grain of salt? I don't know. Just to be clear, I am a lawyer. I'm a graduate of Georgetown Law and a member of the Maryland Bar. Trying to dunk on an invincible artist for using their own invincible? What does that? Oh, from the show. Okay, and the books. What? I don't know. I did not know what you were talking about. I thought you meant there was an artist out there that could not be killed. It hurts, but I had to do it. AI art. It's not art. Actual artists. Look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power. Very ironic you made this post without using your own art. God, that's embarrassing. That is so embarrassing. You most certainly did not take that. That's a rather famous photograph by the Canadian photographer Luke Anthony Graham. You didn't look at my profile profile yet, did ya? Nope, and it's too funny. I recognized the photo as yours instantly. Never thought it would actually be you, my dude. I like your work and hate when people steal others' work, as it's just crass to take credit for what others do. It's worse to steal it and sell it, but to do it for points is bad enough. Okay, I'm actually glad I was wrong. All good, my man. I hate when people steal others' work too, so you're just doing your part. He kills all of them effortlessly without using his Pokemon. He's incredibly durable and powerful, like Galaxy level. Ash isn't remotely close to Galaxy level durability. Read his respect thread. You mean the one I made? The one in the OP? I don't think I put any Galaxy level feats in there. This video was stolen from Marie Pax on TikTok. Walking to the police station to turn myself in right now. I stole my own video. Contrary to popular belief, I give up on trying to find locations a lot, but this one specifically I've not been able to give up on. I'm opening it to the public. A follower sent this to me in December. She had almost lost her mom 5 years ago and wants to know where they took this. Someone tag that kid who can look at literally any photo with almost no context and find the exact location. You are the one. I didn't realize. He is the one. It happened. A reviewer suggested that I familiarize myself with the work of, what is that? To understand the oh, I see your name. All right. Asking Peter Crouch if he has been to a Premier League game. Who's that? I know it's only a game and some things are much bigger, but imagine all of our games went ahead this weekend. Black armbands, silences observed, national anthem, royal band playing, etc. to the millions around the world watching. Isn't that a better send-off? Silences wouldn't be observed though, would they? Have you ever been to a Premier League game? Let me guess. This guy's been to a lot. I don't know. Have you never been to Switzerland or seen the rail system there? Well, at least you used Mr. And yes, I have 15 years working on the rail systems, and I can tell you, between the rails is the dirtiest, nastiest, most unsafe place to put anything needing light and not to be impacted by everything that falls from rail cars and locomotives. You have a most pleasant day. You son of a bitch. In a conversation about dinosaurs, a paleontologist comes in to talk about Utahraptor? No, Utahraptor. And the OP cites his own artwork back at him without realizing. Surprisingly wholesome ending though. Alright, that's a little small, let me zoom in here. After a discussion with some friends, I wanted to ask your opinion. Who would win? A polar bear or, well, that big fluffy dinosaur bastard? Well, I'd love to vote for... I don't know how to pronounce the word. Quit saying it, I'm begging you. This one looks a bit large, like 7+ meters when it was probably in the 5 to 6 meter range. It's fairly accurate for its size. The tail's a tiny bit longer, but that's likely due to the feathers on it. Hey, check that name out right there on the art you're using, buddy. I'm sorry, Scott, for going against you. You obviously know more about them than I do. I didn't mean to use your own skeletal against you for comedic purposes. I legit just didn't read your name. That's my bad. It's fine, and it gave me a good chuckle this morning. I think the raptor life reconstruction in the original image is lovely, but a bit too large overall. Maybe we'll find bigger specimens someday, but that probably shouldn't be the basis for this sort of comparison. I never argue against a paleontologist. I'm far from qualified to do that. Again, I'm very sorry. It's all good. A man tries to tell What's So Not that he's not even DJing. I don't know what that means. Okay. The trees are talking. Deadass stumbled on these kids having a bunker rave in a forest and jumped on the decks. I love the way the DJ makes out like he's in the mix. It's called a breakdown, dude. The tune is a banger though. Always gets the crowd pumping. Well, actually running a tight loop with space effects and reverb while increasing the pitch on the wide mode, which creates it. That's a lot of goddamn words that no one gets. At least I don't. That and volume dynamic on the TS. No, I'm sorry, dude. Yeah, we get it. I know what you're saying, but oh, God, you're just saying words to me. Always credit the artist. Well, yeah. My deepest apologies to this artist. Thank you for the banger art. I've been watching a few of your streams, and I gotta say, it was never my intention to hurt you. Your art is pog. I'll credit them properly in the future. Again, I was in the wrong here, I guess. Regarding Oppenheimer, from someone who has a degree in film, it's one of the greatest movies ever made. Okay. Some people can't handle dialogue or 3-hour movies, and that's fine. It's not for everyone. But this was an absolute masterclass in writing, score, and cinematography as a whole. It's a perfectly good movie, but if you think it's one of the greatest films ever made, that degree didn't do you much good. Did me plenty good. Got me an Emmy. Oh, I don't recognize the... Well, it is Instagram, right? Also, I definitely disagree that it's one of the greatest movies ever made. Is it amazing? Absolutely. But that's art for you, baby. It's not objectively one thing or another. everybody's going to have a different opinion on it. And for the record, he's right about everything else in my opinion. Like, holy shit. I just don't think it's one of the greatest ever made. Mainly because it's just not made for me, you know? And that's totally fucking fine. Because even though I disagree with that point, he's probably still right on it anyway. Agent Orange is nothing compared to the nerve gas the US sprayed during Vietnam. Thousands and thousands of gallons of nerve agent. The US did not use nerve agents in Vietnam. Lol, K. I mean, I wrote a whole history of nerve agents. Happy to point you to my book and other books on the subject. Do more research. You know, Dan, you're great, but pointing this dip toward a book? You know he can't read, obviously. Do your research. Do more research. Just gonna leave this here. Note the similarity of the author's name to mine. Do more research. The history of nerve agents from Nazi Germany to Putin's Russia. Sounds so fun. Mark Rusinovich is CTO of Microsoft Azure. Software Development Engineer 2 is a position that matches about 3 years of industry experience. All right, let's see here. This is from the Amazon recruitment team. I found your profile while searching for software engineers who might be interested in development. Let's see. Would you be considering the opportunity with Amazon? Looks like I need to fix up my profile. Recruiters I think they just smoke crack all day long. I genuinely think recruiters are insane. You'd have to be at least a little bit to do that job, right? Advice on getting somewhere substantial. For the person who wrote the book on Rust programming. Doesn't matter. I won't use software that's made by a company that intentionally mistreats its employees, and I will actively advocate against companies I work for using it. Whatever. OMG. You'll never get anywhere substantial with that attitude. Long work hours can be a real joy if you love what you do. Yeah, for usually like the first week, you freaking dork. Then after that, you start hating what you do. And then you don't want to do it anymore at all. If you don't like it, don't apply. Well, I graduated college 2 years ago and made 6 figures, or make 6 figures. I quite literally wrote the book on the Rust programming language. I'm somewhere substantial. Okay, all right. It seems a little, never mind. When arguing about the boats crossing the English Channel, perhaps you guys should try reading the article. The bigger problem may be for the blah blah blah. I can't even read what they said, thank you. I wrote the article. As I said, the Dublin regulation applied to channel crossings, but the criteria were difficult to apply, not impossible. The House of Commons Library report says that 20% of Dublin transfers in 2019 were to France. Okay. Asking the producer if he's seen the film. Trust me, this is the most original movie you will see this year. Sean Patrick Flannery should win the Academy Award, and I'm not kidding. So you've seen this movie? Yes, I have, about 100 times. I made it. Okay, I'm glad that people are verifying when they say something like, oh, this movie's the worst movie ever made, or oh, you should get an Oscar for this, it's incredible. I'm glad there's at least one person going, you have watched it, right? And the only reason that we do that is because of that freaking dork that said that Parasite should not have won an Oscar, because I don't really know what the reason was, because it wasn't valid, as at the end of his little dip review, he just had to let it be said, sorry, that he didn't watch the movie at all. So unfortunately, we do have to ask, but just Google, man. Did they die? That girl was completely still. Any idea what the word electrocuted means? Are you even remotely educated? I'm actually an electrician. I know more about this than you. No need to be an asshole. You can go catatonic from a massive shock, or your heart could give out. It's a genuine question whether she survived or not. I think maybe a week ago, I want to say when recording, I asked about electrocuted versus electrified, because I always assumed electrocuted meant you were killed, you were executed, but I guess there's a lot more nuance to that word than I previously knew. Sim Racer tells a real-life GT driver that he's driving wrong. GT driver? You know what? Don't care. Sorry to say that, but IMO ACC, dude, you've typed a f***ing book as a comment? Can we just write some of these things out? Sorry, but an IMO ACC is holding back your potential a lot. I was watching hours of GT3 onboards with pro drivers just alone this year, and they really drive iRacing lines now. Genuinely could not give less of a crap about everything that you're saying. Makes no sense to me. It means nothing to me. What's the response? ACC is the best GT simulator out there, IMO. The thing holding back my potential is probably the fact I haven't been in a car for 2 years. Like in general? Twitter user urges the actor to see the original movie, Tamil, from which the new movie, Hindi, is remade from. Sadly, he forgot that the actor he was talking to was the star of the original movie. But did he watch it, though? I mean, Think about it. Awesome trailer, guys. Dynamic and huge. Can't wait to see this in theaters. All the very, very best. All right, let's see. Sir, please see the original one. It was so much fun. Sir, he lived the original one. I'm sure that he agrees. In Stack Overflow comment, both were really cool about it. All right, what are they talking about? So I don't know what Stack Overflow means. So that did fix the issue, but could you explain why this worked and this didn't? All the documentation from the developer would imply otherwise. What documentation are you referring to? I'm the developer, by the way. That's by the spec. The reference within the current schema is, wow. Great library. Thank you for contributing it for the rest of us. As for your question, I could have sworn that I saw it in examples on... I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, we get it. We understand this one, but there are so many of these, at least today, where I'm reading another damn language. I'm sorry. I'm out of the loop on so many things because I'm an idiot and not everyone can know about everything. So these ones are cool. Glad they're here. Don't get it. Congressman complained that AOC won to AOC. At one point, when Crowley was on stage, Cortez recalled that an older male member of Congress sat down next to her, gestured up, and apparently not aware of who he was talking to, said, "It's a real shame that girl won. I turned and said, you know that's me, right?" She recalled. And obviously, his face turns pale. They do feel shame. They just don't give a crap. If you would have taken some STEM classes, you would understand that correlation does not equal causation. I don't think you need STEM classes for that. I feel like that's something you learn in like the 5th grade, you dork. I'm a Caltech educated software engineer. I'm possible that I see, you messed up. It's possible that I might understand why it is that a lack of humanities literacy is causally I'm having a really rough day. Is causally correlated to a loss of social structure and a vulnerability to fascism. Big words. Reddit user asks OP if he stole the idea of the mask from a band album cover, not realizing he was asking the creator of the art. All right, who are we dealing with? Did you steal that mask from whatever album? No, I made it. Don't you know who I am, you fool? Have you ever used this thing that you made? I'm a freelance software developer who occasionally works alongside the in-house teams of larger organizations when the project calls for it. A few years ago, I wrote and released an open source package for a very specific use case in a very niche market space. During a recent Zoom call with an external team, the lead developer was going over the project specification and pointed out a dependency they were using. He said something along the lines of, "We're using this and I'm not sure who wrote it, but what it does is, whatever, have you used it? It was my package." Yeah, I think I might actually know the guy. If socialists understood economics, they wouldn't be socialists. Could you define socialism? Could you even define economics? Here, I wrote the script for this video. Also, I taught economics for a living. Yeah, but that's not valid and you're stupid and actually you're wrong. These are the people potentially calling the biggest moment in baseball in a long time. Raise your hand if you don't know who any of them are. Paul, we've literally hung out. That's the sort of tweet you make at the expense of your buddies, like, "Oh, look at these nerds. Who the hell even are they?" Guy tells the inventor of the Unified Modeling Language he doesn't know anything about UML. If you knew anything at all about UML, you'd know it's already capable of this. Dude, I invented the UML. Tweet author gets told to check magazine that cites the very own tweet thread they're writing on. I don't know why that title felt strange to read. Trick I want to see. A document in a conventional format such as PDF, which mentions its own MD5 or SHA1 hash in the text and is right. What? I think you should read my favorite magazine. You realize that's me they're citing, right? Of course not. My bad. But nice to meet you. Is it by chance inspired by Drive By Night? I am the author of that webtoon. Thank you for the "don't you know who I am" response. Always appreciate that. The problem is acting like you're the original owner of the picture. If you'd stated in your title that it was someone else, it would have been fine. My bad. OP's the owner. Yeah, well, I don't even need to see his response now. Fella who has his car tinted thinks he can tell me, a professional installer, about quality. Oh, I'm sure. Window tint. Personally, I like 3M window tint, but they're expensive and lower quality than Lumar or Suntech. You would know about that lower quality. You can't afford the expensive tint. Okay. Well, I'm a professional installer, so I'm quite aware of what quality it is. As another professional installer, I'll agree with Boy. 3M big doo-doo. Adhesive failure and discoloration way sooner than a lot of other brands. Happy Cake Day. Yeah, 3M's a great name. That's it. Oh yeah, well, all the reviews I've read about 3M window tint are all positive reviews, and most people had great things to say about them. You sure you're a professional? Maybe a so-called professional who doesn't know what they're talking about. Like I said, you can't afford the expensive tint, so how would you know about 3M? They literally just told you how they would know. They don't have to be able to afford that tint as a professional installer to know. Probably because they have to install it for a bunch of dipshits like you a lot. Good God, you little moron. Asking a journalist, where were you in 2016 when the Supreme Court was on the line? Because with all due respect to Senator Feinstein, I'm hoping that's correctly pronounced, millions of Americans' rights and lives hang on who gets appointed to the federal courts. Her death can make the difference between life and death, between rights and loss of rights, for millions of others. That's not hyperbole. Where the hell were you in 2016? We told you mofos that the court was on the line, so don't come now and pretend you care. Have several seats? Oh, sweetheart. One Supreme Court appointee can make a difference. The next president may have the chance to fundamentally remake the court for decades beyond his or her time in office. Twitter user explains what being the chess world champion is like to Garry Kasparov. That's a big yikey moment, that's for sure. Carlsen's withdrawal was a blow to chess fans, his colleagues at the tournament, the organizers, and, as the rumors and negative publicity swirl in a vacuum, to the game. The world title has its responsibilities, and a public statement is the least of them here. Those players that become world champions experience some shattering pressure and mental strain. It takes a toll. Sometimes they want to move on and do other things. Remember Bobby Fischer, or the dude who defeated USSR? Methinks they have the right to live and be happy. Sure, but Google who the hell you're speaking to. Seriously, just do it. It's so easy. No. I'm sorry, no, not the Tony Hawk ones. No, I won't do it. We're not doing this. The Tony Hawk ones are cheating. I'm pretty sure that the first time Tony Hawk tweeted about someone not recognizing him, that was the invention of this subreddit. So no, we're not citing the ancient Tony Hawk texts, okay? The TPM has nothing to do with Secure Boot. What? The Trusted Platform module has nothing to do with Secure Boot? You can reset it to get full access to the setup mode, to use SBCTL and enroll your own keys. There's literally an option in your UEFI or UEFI nowadays to do so. You're arguing with the guy who made the tool you're talking about. Oh, oh, that's great. I love that realization. Oh, no. Arguing with a doctor about whether it's ghosts or anemia causing bruises, using The Conjuring to back up it being ghosts. What? Right. It could have then materialized as a medical issue. I'd say, think of The Conjuring when she got the bruises, went to the doctor, and they told her it was an iron deficiency or something like that. But it's very similar as far as topic goes. Please do not take health advice from The Conjuring. And who are you to tell me where I can pull my examples from? You act like I'm diagnosing the person. It's an example. No, you know what you're doing. You don't get to backpedal, bitch. I'm a doctor. There you go. First conversation at conference. Where have you traveled from? Croydon? Which constituency? Croydon Central? Trying to remember who the MP is there. Me? Oh. Elon Musk doesn't know who Garry Kasparov is. Elon Musk doesn't know a lot. Like almost anything, as it turns out. Alright, let's see. This is moral idiocy. Repetition of Kremlin propaganda. A betrayal of Ukrainian courage and sacrifice. And puts a few minutes browsing Crimea I don't know, on Wikipedia over the current horrific reality of Putin's bloody war. We gave Starlinks to Ukraine and lost $80 million in doing so. Oh no, $80 million? While putting SpaceX and myself at serious risk of Russian cyber attack. Sure, sweetie. What have you done besides tweet? I think Gary knows a little bit about putting himself at risk. Yeah, a little bit. Twitter user corrects famed author William Gibson about books he wrote and suggests he checks his sources. I love people that are this stupid. It's amazing. Like, I'm pretty dumb, and these people make me look like Albert Einstein. It was hot. The night we burned Wintermute. Wintermute hacked for $160 million. What? It was hot. The night we burned Chrome was the opening line to Burning Chrome. Wintermute was a character in another novel by the same author. I suggest you check your sources. You mean drain my goddamn brain? Sure, I'll get right on checking my brain. Vincent Martella is Phineas's VA. I taught everyone what an aglet is. Phineas and Ferb would like a word. That's me, bro. Oh, I'm so sorry for disrespecting you. Every night before bed, I study a picture of Tony Hawk so that if I ever run into him in public, I will not be one of those people. I feel like he kinda likes it though. He's the only guy as famous as he is who does not get hounded all that much in public, right? At least according to his stories of no one ever recognizing him. He might have the best deal of any celebrity ever, you know? I would totally feel comfortable talking to Tony Hawk, but if I ran into Harrison Ford, I'll pretend like the man's not even real, because I know he doesn't want to fucking talk to me. Joshua Izzo, the VP in charge of non-film Avatar canon. Of what? Nicely done. First Flight, though, is currently undated in canon. Joshua Izzo actually did state that it is canon. Source: you're talking to him. Yeah, I'm him. Wait, for real? Wow. Yes, I'm sure this person knows nothing about books and narratives. I don't go to MCU movies. Don't really care for them, but I find this barely masked gloating over the low box office for the Marvels very unpleasant. Why gloat over failure? Failure literally drives us to improve. Try reading a book sometime. Most stories have that narrative. There's no way anyone on the planet who claims to be knowledgeable in narratives of any kind would look at the name Stephen King and tell him to go read a book and learn about stories. No way in hell this is an actual person. This one's a bit niche, but explaining OG Halo to the best OG Halo player. Alright, let's see. Back in my day, they called them Kill-taculars. You're wrong. Kill-taculars were 5 kills within 4 seconds of each other. Halo 1 and 2, it was the name for the 4th kill. You know, I don't know who Tom Ryan is, but you know what? I'm gonna take the internet's word for it today. I believe you. Double kill, triple kill, overkill, kill-tacular. Ah, my childhood. I'm more of a monster kill kind of guy. You know, growing up, I didn't play a lot of Halo, but I did play a lot of split-screen Red Faction 2 with my buddies, and I got some different ones. I got like Butcher and stuff like that from that game. I remember those ones quite fondly. Also, digging tunnels to each other rather than actually playing the PvP modes with rocket launchers because that was way more fun in Red Faction 1. A senior civil servant has taken control of Stormont's finances. Neil Gibson has done... I don't care or know who any of these people are. Mr. Gibson will use emergency powers to release cash to departments until a new budget is in place. Why do you copy and paste BBC News? Or did they copy you? Well, I'm the BBC's economics and business editor in Northern Ireland. The stories I write go across different platforms. Post-work family selfie from Goa? Does baby Tara look more... what? Congratulations! And what happened to first legally wedded wife? Anyways, nice family picture. What does it matter to you? Nosy auntie? Because I am still his legally wedded wife who was thrown out of house. What the hell is this? Was this an entire fake thread? What am I looking at? This doesn't feel real in the slightest, dude. Old Gods of Asgard is a band in the Remedy universe, Alan Wake, Control, who are played by Poets of the Fall. That is very true. I love them. They are awesome. Recently, we've seen comments or even accusations that we sound a lot like a band called Old Gods of Asgard. Well, we have all the respect for this band and their work in the 70s and 80s. All similarities between our music are purely coincidental, okay? Poets of the Fall are not thieves. I promise you guys. Also, for the love of God, please play Alan Wake 2. On a post about the best kills in the Hitman franchise. The absolute mad lad that set up the German level in Hitman 3 to where every single agent dies as he sits down at the table to turn himself in or whatever. That sounds cool. He posted it here, I think. No idea how to find it again. Well, of course I know him. He's me. Correcting a pro wrestler's own mother regarding his age. He's only 22? Damn. 25. He was born in 2001. He is my son. I am his mother. Love you. I think I would know when he was born and how old he is. He came out of my body. The Punisher would be a lot prettier if he smiled more. I know what you're getting at here, but the jab doesn't work due to his backstory and personality. He actually has a huge plot point as to why he doesn't smile a lot. Try harder. Dude, shut the hell up, dork. Nice collection of what looks to be mostly female-centric comic books that literally has nothing to do with my comment nor the topic under discussion. We're not discussing it. You are just saying words, and that's it. You're practically talking to yourself, you dork-ass loser. Unless if you're pointing out what is most likely fact that you know very little about Punisher's backstory. Read the names of the writer on the spine. Now look at her name. Kay, so she's a comic book author. That actually makes her case look worse, seeing how she should know better. Wow. Dude, between the two of us, which one actually has written the Punisher, do you think? Which one? Which one, buddy? Which one? You know what? I want to see him continue to make a goddamn fool of himself. Best-selling author receives rare opportunity to be a best-selling author. Is that right? My spam is getting stranger. Why don't you have your own book on Amazon? Dear Dan Brown, work directly with the ghostwriter. You'll work directly with our experienced ghostwriter, a best-selling author you've probably seen on TV. So Dan Brown's novels have sold over 200 million copies in print. So I've got a sneaky suspicion that whatever bot sent this email just absolutely isn't getting it. Doctor suggests I read my own article. I suffer from an extremely rare medical condition that I was struggling to manage. I showed up to a GP appointment, and my doctor offered to email me a link to an article he'd found on managing my condition long term. He brought the article up on his computer and read sections of it out to me while I patiently nodded along. I then asked him to scroll back up to the top so I could point out the author's name. My name. His soul left his body. Well, it seems like it was a fun experience. I have to give some credit to the doctor here. Okay, he didn't realize you'd written the article, but credit to him for putting in the effort to find an article specifically about your condition. I'm with you. 99% of doctors these days only say, "No, I don't know, I think this is stress," and call it a day. Stress or anxiety, one of the two. And generally, it's anxiety, so they can get you the hell back out the door. Right where it belongs. No! Damn. Well, it's true. Paramore's albums are the Bibles. They are sacred. Do you like Paramore? I love them. I grew up with them, and I'm a real fan. Did you just ask Hayley Williams if she likes Paramore? Hey, she might not. You never know. It might just be a job to her. From the comments on the history of red algae from Journey to the Microcosmos. Jesus, that's a weird word. I actually helped come up with the name. Nice to see it adopted in textbooks and by you. One small comment. I now exclusively use the term psyllium to refer to the eukaryotic organelle so that folks do not confuse this organelle with the flagella of bacteria, which are completely different. Sure you did. This person could be legit. Could be. What? The word Archaeplastida. Sorry, I haven't been in a frickin' science classroom in a long time. First appeared in this publication on which I am a co-author. Oh, goddamn. I love that. Oh, this person could be legit. Could be. Did you even read the article you wrote? Wait, what? The reason most families are dual income is wages have risen. What? That's not actually what this says. You should read it. He wrote the article, dude. LOL. I'm sure you have a ton of experience firing a fully automatic weapon. 6 years in the Army, much of that as an infantry team leader. Primary weapon was an M4, also trained with M240, M249, M2A1, light and heavy machine guns. They sucked to clean. You could say I have a lot of experience. Obviously a lot more than Kid Rock. Have a nice day. Startup founder explains technology concepts to creator of said technology. Just had an amazing random interaction with a new founder explaining his startup to me. Him. Do you know Terraform? I do. Explains Terraform concepts. I've got it, yeah. I started the project. Wait, what? I tried to joke it off as much as possible. I really don't care. But I think he died a little bit inside. I wasn't even going to tell him, honestly, but I felt bad he was spending time explaining concepts that I helped create, so I cut him short. Probably a good move. World records broken today, baby! Someone call up Summoning Salt. Gotta rewrite the video. Edit. No need. Love the videos. No need to call him. He already knows. OP is Summoning Salt. Governor Schwarzenegger post banned from bodybuilding. What? What happened? Hold on. Well, that's a new one, I must say. I feel like he would know a little bit about that. He's actually really well known there. Must have either been a bot or power tripping mods. Or he broke the rules? I'm sure it doesn't happen on Reddit, but it would be nice if rules applied equally to everyone, including celebrities. I mean, yeah. Scolding a TV anchor talking about his own work. Scolding? Now, this is how it's done. Watch local Denver reporter Kyle Clark call out Lauren Boo Boo for taking credit for federal funding in her district she voted against. This is getting a lot of traction, but it's nothing special. It's basic, straightforward journalism. I imagine every station in Denver did something very similar. Way to kick dirt on someone's good work. It's my work. Don't downplay it, Kyle. Don't downplay it, my man. I'm sure he's seen it. Train spotting parodies usually bore the crap out of me, but I quite like this one. Have you even seen Train Spotting? Excuse me, okay. Well, who is it? He wrote the novel, which the movie is based upon. Ah, you might not have watched the movie then. I don't know, man. Movies tend to be a little bit different than their novel counterparts, are they not? The author of a book series about JavaScript doesn't know JavaScript. Oh, I didn't know that. That's kind of crazy. My job search so far. Let's see, one company had me go through an outsourced technical screen, coding basic JavaScript, then said I didn't do well enough on that for them to move forward. Apparently, I still don't know JavaScript. So yeah, guess you could say things are going great. Wow, that's kind of insane. Woo! Recruiters definitely know their jobs super well. The fact he's buying cheap crap and selling it for 7 to 8 pounds per spud is nuts. Why do people buy into this crap? POV, you know nothing about food service. Considering I've run hotel kitchens, restaurants, and bars, now as a private chef on a super yacht, I think I'm more than qualified to know a thing or two about food service. Classic British crap is all it is. What was this on a what was this for? Huh? Also, I don't believe you. On a super yacht? Seems a little weird, dude. Come on, why don't you give me your resume? Cleanest sewer water I've seen on video in India. Do you realize that the whole country doesn't look like that, or else people would not have been living there? People like you are the reason they only cover that side of India. Bro, I'm Indian. I think people that live in India would know what the country is like. Directly under the post in which he shares the legal letters that have been exchanged. I hate that people don't get her point of view. She literally gets death threats and has stalkers because of public information, and she isn't some poor person. What makes you say I'm not poor? I wasn't talking about you? Are you talking about Jack Sweeney? Yes, that's me. Now, the dude probably argued for 300 more lines in the thread. Commenter thought YouTuber stole his Bionicle's redesign from himself. It's fascinating how this man both uses master builder level techniques and yet also feels like he's never touched a Lego set in his life. Guilty as charged. I died inside when I saw him using all those illegal techniques. I only saw a few of them. That's because he didn't design the mock, or the MOC, I don't know. How? A guy on Reddit made it about a year ago. I'm the guy on Reddit. Good lord. Artist confirms his own Easter egg. Here's a super geeky Easter egg that I snuck into Mizu's design. The notch in her casa is casa, right? Is a nod to the infamous dent in the helmet of Boba Fett. It's a good way to show that Mizu has been through some previous battles without drawing much attention to itself. Was this confirmed? Is this just speculation? Anyway, I really doubt it. I can confirm it. That's what I am confirming it. It was a reference to Noam Chomsky, noted linguist and ideologue. We thought it was funny for Toby to name a rodent-like creature who only talks in gibberish after him. I think it's kind of a circle. I think it's a reference to the one from Half-Life, and the Half-Life one is a reference to Noam Chomsky. I wrote the episode he first appears in. It was a reference to Noam Chomsky. We didn't find out about the Half-Life thing until after. Dang, kind of funny. Okay, yeah. Best spinner of all time. Very disappointed in NZ News. What? Never mind. In not playing a spinner in the World Test Championship, as this wicket is going to spin big with huge footmarks developing already. You are not speaking English. What the hell are you talking about? Remember, if it seems it will spin, India make anything more than... I literally don't understand the word you're saying. Jane, do you understand how spin works? The pitch gets dry. This pitch won't get dry because for the rest of the test, there is due to be rain. I don't understand what I just read, like, at all. Dude's an economist. Where does this nonsense come from? Fiat money is against the teaching of every major religion, but most have conveniently forgotten this. Bitcoin is sound money. Any serious theologian must favor it. From a deep and learned understanding of all the fields involved, do you have a different understanding, or will it just be ad hominems? I am an economist. Someone figured out about ad hominems and decided to throw it out on Twitter to make themselves sound smart. Yeah, that's not how it works. The stars in their courses. One of the pitfalls to communication lies in that little phrase, "it's obvious." What is obvious to A, alas, is by no means obvious to B, and is downright ridiculous to C. For instance, just a week ago, a storekeeper was writing out a receipt for me. He asked my name, and I gave it, and, as I do automatically, began to spell it, slowly and clearly. I am absurdly sensitive about having my name misspelled. He got the Isaac right, but by the time I had gotten as far as ASI in the spelling of the last name, he had raced ahead and finished it as MOF. No, I said pettishly. It ends with a V. A V. He changed it to Asimov, looked at it a moment, and then said, "I see. You spell it the way the author does." Well, obviously I do, but it came as a big surprise to him that I chose to do so. Okay, I love the way that was written. That was beautiful. I just watched a baby ask Juju Smith-Schuster if she could have a few bucks. He was nice and said yes. Then she asked, "Are you a Steelers fan?" He said, "Yeah, something like that." I said his name correctly, didn't I? Juju Smith-Schuster? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Arguably the best hockey player of all time. Some kid at the Hockey Hall of Fame told Wayne Gretzky how to hold a hockey stick. And you know what? Because Wayne Gretzky kicks ass, he probably took the lesson in stride and actually, maybe improved his game a bit. I mean, look, it was some kid. It was just some kid. Who gives a crap, man? Wayne seems like the type of guy to not really care and just have fun with that moment. Arguably. My guy, it ain't arguable. He's arguably the greatest athlete of all time. He is the greatest hockey player of all time. Bro has his number retired league-wide. I mean, come on now. Just the hockey league, though. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know enough about... I mean, I know who he is. I know about that legacy. But when it comes to the greatest athlete of all time, I don't know. I have no idea. He's definitely on the list for sure, but I don't know. I don't follow athletes or sports nearly enough to be part of that conversation. Sounds like a white woman with vegan in their name, all right. Speaking on yet another issue they know nothing about. Or maybe you do know about owning a comic store, or... Wait, or maybe you do? What? Hi, Jason. I'm co-owner of Toy Vomit, a successful collectible store with a great team of around 10 employees that focuses on pre-loved collections and, you guessed it, old comics. Come by anytime you want to talk about the industry. Nice. It's beautiful. How much you know about Chinese stuff? Gee, I wonder. I am Chinese. It's a culture thing. You don't follow it, expect to have a rough relationship with everyone, and get nothing in the end. My recommendation? Follow family tradition. You pay theirs, they will pay yours in return. Wrong. You will get little to nothing of true value in the end if you spend your life placating. Is it placating? Or parasitic relationships. Not saying she needs to burn bridges, but stating her values will help others know how to help and respect her. Wrong. How much you know about Eastern, particularly Chinese cultures? I wonder. I am Chinese. Wonder how much you know about women and systemic sexism and how screwed OP will be based on her situation if she tries to just go along with it. OP is definitely better off trying to find a way to participate in this tradition as little as possible. This made me laugh a little too much. Why did XB stop playing Ark? Does anyone know? Boredom. Did he say that? Pretty sure he did. Yeah, he said it on benchmark performance of LLMs. Let's see. Today we're announcing Claude 3, our pointless piece of stupid trash. No need to overhype. If you look into the actual test, you'll see that it is still just memorization-based stuff. LLMs fail simple reasoning tasks, and there's no reliable way to fix that, so smart-ass little smiley face. I did look into the actual test, as I'm the first author on the paper introducing the dataset. Here's that smiley back for you, douchebag. Alright, let's see. Comments on, this is the best home car lift. He thinks he's smarter than an engineer. I am an engineer. Hey, commenter, what do you do? Are you anything? Can't stop watching videos to my song F Off. Two people who had nothing to do with the creation of the song just blatantly leeching someone else's creativity, albeit extremely vulgar and juvenile, for clout. I hate it here. It's my song. Then you have no place on Thus app. The creator is more popular than you. What? What does that mean? What are your credentials? Zero data to support this claim. Please don't do this. Alright, let's see. Fasting 72 hours literally causes your body to eat up diseased tissues, tumors, inflammation, and toxins that are not conducive to health. Well, he's a doctor. What are your credentials? All right, well, let's see what his credentials are. Dad, husband, thoracic surgeon. Wow, director of a memorial hospital, I assume, in Mumbai? All right, cool. So the guy definitely knows what he's talking about. Also, yeah, I read that tweet and immediately thought, fasting for 72 hours will cause your body to eat up tumors? What the hell? Huh? Telling a League One top-tier player they don't know about the game. He's balanced as is. Trust me, I would know. Tyrant is an unforgiving class. A glass cannon. High damage, low health. If you suck, you're gonna suck. I don't care if you think you would know it's a weak glass cannon. Now I would bet money I've played longer than you. I'm a League One player. I was walking around in India and someone asked for a picture, so I asked my translator to ask him what his favorite Mr. Beast video is, and he said that he doesn't know what a Mr. Beast is and just wanted a photo with a tall white guy. How tall is Mr. Beast? I do find that funny. I'm not expecting that to happen when I do eventually get around to visiting other countries. I know at the top of my list is Japan. You know, you always hear rumors about a 6'3", blonde-haired, blue-eyed white dude might garner a little bit of attention. But man, if Mr. Beast is getting stopped and they don't know who he is, just white man, I mean, yeah, it might actually happen at least once, right? Got any Japanese followers of EmKay that are willing to escort me around the country and show me everything? Look, man, I'm scared. I obviously can't speak Japanese and I've got tattoos. I don't want people to be mad at me. Trying to explain football contracts. All right. Armstead had a $28 million cap hit for the 49ers, and he has a $25 million in dead money. I think it's possible he could be a June 1 cut to split the dead money. Yeah, okay. More stuff I can't understand. That's not how post-June 1 designation works. Lol. You just quoted me my own article to explain to me how a June... Is it June 1 or June... I don't know what the hell they're saying! Telling an active NASCAR driver he doesn't watch NASCAR. Burning up the blacktop. How long has it been since you've heard a cup car hit the limiter at the end of the straightaway? This tweet just shows you don't actually watch NASCAR. Correct. Again, why would he need to? He lives it. Mikey Neumann is the writer and creative director of Borderlands. Is it Neumann or Newman? Anyway, plus 2 Borderlands comic series and a bit of the second game. Okay. The first trailer for the live-action Borderlands movie has been released. I am here for Jamie Lee Curtis, best casting ever of Patricia Tannis. Looks great. This looks like hot garbage. Did you even play Borderlands? Screw you for this. I'm gonna be real. It does not look great or good by any means. It looks stupid and batshit fun, I will say. And the only reason I am interested in seeing it only is Cate Blanchett. That is the only goddamn reason I am even a little bit interested at this point, because why the hell was she cast in that role? She's awesome. Why is she playing Lilith?